This is a day where you really do this. Truth, justice, and the Big Sills way here. This is exactly what this day is all about when it comes to my show. Really is, man. Truth, justice, and the Big Sills way. As we always start the program out, we started out with Big Sills in one of the biggest elections in U.S. history, probably since the 1960 election between Nixon and Kennedy. What will you do today? Look, just had a great conversation with Xander about this. Big Sills isn't here to tell you who to vote for. If it's not plain and simple and clear to you on who you think should run this country right now, I can't convince you. I can't convince you, and I won't. You don't come here for my political angles. You come here for my sports. But with today, it being one of the most important elections of all time, vote your conscience, man. Whatever you think is in the best interest of the United States of America. That's what today's about. And you know the coolest thing about it? I get a chance in a country like this to be able to have freedom of speech to do and say whatever I want. Always there's ramifications, consequences for people's comments and positions they take. If you make a comment, always be prepared to have it challenged. By the way, first 15 minutes of the program are the most essential, as you know, especially the people that come here each and every single day. We so thank you very much. Please hit that like button. That's why the show is growing faster than any other show on YouTube right now, is because of what you guys are doing. By the way, we got a commentary to make on what Angelo Cataldi said, and I had a chance to talk to Marcus Hayes yesterday. I'm not going to go knee-deep into it, but I'm just going to point out to you censorship. That resides in Philadelphia. Censorship. All super chats go to the top. Today, thank you very much. Vote for Flex. Sure. Write-in ballot. I'm right there. I saw a guy write in Mario Cristobal for president. I posted it. Pretty cute. Once again, whoever you want to vote for, that's on you. Today, we're going to do midterm grades in honor of the election. The best Eagles give the midterm grades on the Eagle performances so far. We're at the midway point of the season. We will do that. NFL midseason grades and also midseason awards. We'll do that. We'll talk a little bit about what the coordinator said today. Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore. I thought that was a pretty good day for both coordinators, addressing a lot of the stuff. By the way, one thing is very evident on the offensive side, and I'll get to that when we start talking about the coordinators here. Big Sills, truth, justice, in the Big Sills way. How you doing? And thank you for the super chat. Super chats are what keep this thing going and you viewing the show each and every single day. Thank you. Today is also NFL trading deadline day. Xander will be keeping an eye on that. We'll see what happens. The Washington Commanders made a gargantuan move with Marcus Lattimore. They're light in the back end of their defense. They upgraded their defense today with Marcus Lattimore. Now, he's been banged up a little bit, but he's going to be ready to play. How about that, man? Marcus Lattimore is now a member of the Washington Commanders. The Commanders just got better. That was insane. You know how many teams were in line to try to get him? 7. Wouldn't be surprised if one of those teams were the Eagles. Okay? Harris stinks more than Mozzie. Hey, I'm going to make a point to you here, though, man. The Commanders are getting it done. And who would have thought Dan Quinn would be the top candidate potentially for NFL Coach of the Year? Okay? Hey, I don't give a shit what people are going to say in Philly about the Marcus Lattimore deal. I know he's been banged. He is a great football player. You can downsize it all you want. He's a great football player. They added a great football player to their team. A great one. Big Sil's top 10 quarterbacks, top 10 teams, MVP candidates. We are loaded and locked, and we're here, and we'll get to all of it. By the way, before we get going here, it's come to my attention that the Philadelphia 76ers are going around the city of Philadelphia, allegedly, and contacting all media outlets to not report on the Marcus Lattimore situation, on where he was assaulted by Joel Embiid. I contacted Adam Silver. I posted Adam Silver and my communications of a comment and things that I needed from him in the past. We are very close, the commissioner. His wife went to school with me. I've known him 29 years, Adam Silver. His wife is from Stamford, Connecticut. I contacted him. Okay? Marcus Hayes. Okay? Thank you, guys. Marcus Hayes, excuse me. Marcus Hayes. They're going around trying to suppress the Marcus Hayes incident. Okay? Can you imagine that? Yes, you can. Because the professional sports teams in Philadelphia have taken control of the media, except here. By the way, go to my Twitter page. I had to block out a little bit of Adam Silver's email address. You could see what he said back to me. Me and him are boys. I said, what are you doing about the Marcus Hayes situation that Joel Embiid assaulted a reporter in a locker room? No comment yet. By the way, I had a conversation last night with my wife and my kid about it. I'm not defending the article. I'm not defending it. Maybe he did go over the line. So, do you know how many people I want to kick the shit out of and beat the fuck out of that have called me a misogynist, a racist, whatever? You know how many people I want to beat up? Hundreds. But I can't. Because in the end, I take the ramifications of that. So I can't. You have to have common sense here. The Philadelphia sports media are some of the weakest people I've ever seen in my life, and I am so disgusted with that market and how they cover people. Between the Eagles and between the Sixers, there is no good journalists left in that city because they're controlled by their accessibility. I guess I have to understand that. No one does their job to the fullest any longer. I'm a dying breed, dude. I'm a dying breed. It's censorship right now, all up and down the line. This is the last place you get to come to where I don't censor you. Hey, get this. If I don't censor you, and I don't censor some of the people that come in here and say some of the things they say to me, what would make you think I would censor myself? That's why we go back and forth. Tim Reyes, look at him and I. We go back and forth every freaking day. But he knows he can come here and call me an asshole. And I don't block him. Because you know why? I don't censor him. That's right, Spin. Even my biggest detractors in here get a chance to be the biggest detractors. I've welcomed that my entire 34-year career. I have welcomed that. Hey, okay? Even LJ, who can't stand me, is in here posting 7,000 comments an hour. I don't shut him down. I don't do anything. I give him free speech. He couldn't call into a radio station in Philadelphia or one of those pinko radio stations in Canada that he works with or who he deals with. And you don't think they'd put you on the air, do you, LJ? They're not going to put you on. I do. Xander could just easily block you. But we don't do that here. We have freedom of speech here. Vote Trump or you hate America. That's not my place to tell people who to vote for. Okay? Here is the only place you don't get censored. JAKIB Sports, go online and take a look at Crossing Broad. I implore you to. All the negative things they say about JAKIB. You know why? They fear him. Because they say what they want here. Hey, John McMullen and I can get into a back and forth comment, an argument. You know what we do? We wake up Monday and do our jobs. No hard feelings. You couldn't do that anywhere else in Philadelphia or really across the country anymore. Not in today's pinko media. No way. The guy goes on MSNBC and was a Trump supporter, and the entire crew of anchors had that person removed because that person supported Trump. Not because of anything they said, but because they supported Trump. Whether you support Trump or not, for me, I think everybody has a voice, good or bad. You have a right to be an asshole in this country. And you have a right to be an asshole here, including me. I respect that. So as always say, stay that way. Even if I don't agree, media shouldn't influence anything. Yeah, Philly, when I have an opinion on something, I'm not trying to influence you. I'm just giving you my opinion. Do you know how many strong-willed people in here we have every day with conviction? I can't tell you how much I respect that. Please hit the like button. We'd like to get to 400 today. Do you know how much? Hey, get this. Even LJ, do you know how much I respect people with strong convictions on stuff? You would have no idea that I admire people like that, even if you're wrong or I'm wrong. I love that. I hate wafflers, fence straddlers. And now you got the Philadelphia 76ers going around trying to censor media outlets. I posted on my Twitter page, my X account, at Dan Sileo Show. The Philadelphia 76ers are going around contacting 97.5 and WIP not to report on the Marcus Hayes incident where Joel Embiid assaulted him. Can you imagine that? They don't want you to report on something you saw. So look at LJ. So stop it. You're making me like you. Don't like this feeling. Go back to hate. 2 seconds. We'll be back at it again, LJ. 2 seconds. We'll be back at it. Hit that like button. Dude, I can't tell you how much. Look at Anthony. Anthony, you are so. Guy, by the way, this guy hate. Anthony, will you do me a favor? After I read this, will you tell everybody? I think you were one of those guys that hated my guts too. Right? And all of a sudden now, Anthony is my boy here. Has to be. He's a paisan, at least. People who are afraid to call out wrongdoings or criticize problems are worse than people who commit wrongdoings. Be it politics or sports, legacy media is weak and it's altered. Media outlets like JAKIB give people a voice. Absolutely. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you. Okay? Thank you. Media outlets also write a bunch of bullshit. So let's not act like this is so one-sided. A.J. Brown has gotten so much slander from media people like me. But once again, Maine Black, I'm not a reporter. I'm not a columnist. I'm not a media guy. I'm an entertainer that talks sports and everything else that you would sit at a bar. I don't portray myself as a media guy. I just happen to know a lot of people in the media. I would never in a million years go, Sil's got journalistic integrity. I do not, because I don't want to have it. I want to have an opinion on something. Content creator, Correct. That's what I do. I create topics. You guys call it trolling. I create topics. Guys are so great. We appreciate it, especially on a day like this. Please hit the like button here. We are going to get into one of my favorite times of the year, the midway point of the season. And we're going to look, it's the Big Sills mid scorecard for the Eagles. NFL midseason awards. Vic and Kellen spoke today. My top 10 quarterbacks, top 10 teams, MVP race. We have a ton. By the way, it's just Xander today at 3:30, and we're going to go over all this because I think we got a lot to get to today because we're at the midway point. Sills, it's the WWE if it was on HBO, quality entertainment. Q, that is a wonderful comment. Wonderful comment, man. I appreciate it. I think we should start out with the midterm grades for the Philadelphia Eagles. Please hit the like button. Super chats go to the top. We appreciate it. Big Z at 3:30. It was rough in the beginning, but Sills was right about everything. And he gives fans who are concerned a voice. I'll always love that. Paisan, buona fortuna, man. I so appreciate that. Even M. Reyes, who I give a ton of shit to, and he gives a ton of shit to me. You guys are undefeated in my book. Hit the like button. Okay, enough pleasantries. It's time to get down and dirty now. By the way, when I say a name, I want you to follow up with me on what grade midseason you would give this particular player. So let's do this, and let's start with the awards for the Eagles. Then we'll do NFL. Then we'll do the starters and some of the contributors to the team. Midseason MVP of the Philadelphia Eagles is who? Sills, what do you think about the Commanders getting Lattimore? I think it's a spectacular move. Do you think this move makes them better than the Eagles or equal? I don't think they're better yet. I think their quarterback is playing better football than Jalen Hurts is because he's played it all year like this. That kid's a top 10 quarterback already. Hey, Big Bill, we all respect you because you pull no punches. Big Bill. And always keep it real. There's nothing wrong with disagreement. Example, your love for Allen. 34, thank you. I appreciate it. Barkley's your MVP. That's my MVP. And he's obviously your offensive MVP. Who's the Eagle defensive MVP? If you had to pick a Philadelphia midterm MVP on defense, who would it be? Ooh. Zach Bond? Cooper DeJean? Look at LJ. Bond? Josh Sweat? I don't think Cooper hadn't played that enough games. Vic Fangio? I think it comes down between Josh Sweat and Zach Bond. I think Josh Sweat has played great football. I'm going to give the grades out for Quinion here in a minute here. We're going to do the roster here. The midterm grades, by the way. In honor of the election, in honor of, I do this every year too. Midterm grades and awards, NFL and the team that I mostly cover here. If I had to lean on an MVP defensively, I would lean on Zach Bond. Zach Bond is your defensive MVP so far in the midway part of the season. Sweat would be a close second. That's who would be my MVP. Your MVP for the team is Saquon Barkley. Your defensive MVP is Zach Bond, a guy who never played the interior linebacker position ever. is the Eagles' midseason defensive most valuable player. How insane is that? Kudos, Howie Roseman. How many times have you not heard me say that? I mean, Mitchell, we'll get to him in a minute. Okay? Barkley's been just insane, and he's been great. Please hit the like button. Give me a running total on where we are. I'd like to get to 100 as we get to around the 20 after mark. I'd like to see where we are right now on that like button. That's really great. Thank you, guys. Keep hitting it. Dude, I agree with LJ. They better get Zach Bond a contract immediately, because you don't want to have a TJ Edwards. Once again, this kid goes somewhere else, and all of a sudden he's a starting interior linebacker. You might want to address that as soon as possible. 113, that's great. M. Escobar, we appreciate it. All right, so let's get to the midterm grades. Halfway point of the season here for the Eagles. Let's start on defense and work our way back to Jalen Hurts. Cooper DeJean didn't play the front end of the first 4 games, really. Was a little spotty. He's come on like a bullet the last 3.5 games. I gave him a C+. I think he has played really good football for a rookie. I gave him a C+, strong C+. You could have given him a B-, but again, he missed a lot of the first part of the season. And this is an overall encompassing of all 8 games. You just can't give a guy a grade for 1 or 2 or 3 games when you've played 8 of them. You can't. He's missed too much football. So I gave him a C+. I see some of you are going B. I don't mind B-. Darius Slay. And by the way, he's a rookie. Dude, you're telling me that guy's playing B football? And I'm talking Cooper DeJean, and he's a rookie? Strong C+. That's a great grade with so much more room for improvement. What would you give Darius Slay for his midterm grade? Anthony, I don't think it's a D. I gave Slay a C+. Xander thinks this guy is Darrelle Revis. I think he had a C+. I think he's played good. I don't think it's been over the top great. I don't think he stunk. I think he was missed this last week. So I give him a C+. Reed Blankenship, what grade would you give him for his midterm grade? By the way, the young players on this team, I heard something today. You're telling me you had 11 players on defense in that football game on Sunday, 27 or younger? That is spectacular. That is spectacular. Spectacular. I mean, Vic didn't think much of it. I did. I gave Reed Blankenship a solid C. And if you gave him a C+, I'm okay with that. He's been steady back there. They've kind of settled the safety position. I think he looks good back there. C+. C. I gave him a C, though. C.J. Gardner-Johnson. What grade would you give him for his midterm grade? What grade would you give him? What grade would you give Reed? What grade would you give C.J. Gardner? I agree with many of you. I gave him a D+. I think he has stunk out loud. His midterm grade at the midway point, I gave him a D+. Quinyon Mitchell, rookie. What grade would you give Quinyon Mitchell? B+, A, B, A, A. I do not believe he's played a corner. I do not. I think he's played B- corner. I just changed it from C+ to B-. I think he's really played well for arguably one of the hardest positions in football. I'll tell you what, if that guy had 3 picks or 2 picks, he's probably in the A area. Okay, he'd probably be in the A area. Okay, and he's a rookie, B-. Josh Sweat. What midterm grade would you give Josh Sweat? Flexing goes in, he's heading towards an A. He is. Josh Sweat, midterm grade, B, A. Bob, B. Mike, B+. That's where I'm at, Mike. I gave Josh Sweat a B+. I think he's played great football. Nolan Smith, what would be his midterm grade? One of my favorite times of the year. I love doing this. What would be his midterm grade? B+. He hasn't allowed a TD as a rookie. Look at the yards allowed as well. He without a doubt has played great ball and trending towards being an exceptional player. Isn't Sweat a second string guy? No, he's a starter. You gave him a D. I gave Josh Sweat a B+. Or no, excuse me. I gave Sweat the B+. I gave Nolan Smith a C. I can't believe it. I gave Nolan Smith a C. I think he's playing better. I think for the 8 games that he's been in, he's been trending up. I see him. There's some plays he's making. I see him. Okay? All I'm asking, I see him. Nakobe Dean. What would you give Nakobe Dean for his 8 games? B, C. A B. C-, C+. C- Sills. B+ considering the position a lot. B+, B, B, C-. I gave Nakobe Dean for his midterm grade a C. I never thought I'd give a grade like that for that guy. And I would even make this point. He's trending up. He is trending up. LJ's on his A game today. A lot of Nakobe's success goes to Bond, too. That's right. It's a great comment. You're playing next to a great player. And by the way, that also has to mean that Carter and Davis have done some impact for those guys to show up. It's a great way to look at the team and the people and players around them that are getting better too. It's a great take, LJ. Zach Bond. What midterm grade would you give Zach Bond? What grade? A minus, A. B plus for Bond, says Sam. A. Look at what we're doing here. We're empowering you guys, and you're helping me right now on how you see these guys playing right now this year. I can't thank you enough. Do you know how many topics are running through my head for the next 4 or 5 days now off of what you guys are saying and how you're seeing these players perform for you in the first half of the season? Spectacular. This is how I see Zach Bond. I gave him an A. I can't believe what I'm watching. This guy's never played the interior position before. Look at LJ again. A plus considering he was a reserve player. Let's not forget a special teams guy. This guy was a special teams dude. This guy was an inside linebacker. If anything, people thought he was going to be more of an edge rusher. I gave him an A. I can't believe he's playing so well. That just shows you the athleticism that the kid has. Isn't it funny? I mean, hey, by the way, I don't think there's any coincidence that one of the best linebacker coaches and evaluators, Vic Fangio, because that's his forte, is linebackers, has made two and created two linebackers for your football team that you didn't have a year ago, like he's Dr. Frankenstein. He's rejuvenated a rookie's career, and he found a player in the graveyard, and he's made him two really good-looking contributors to the defense. I mean, dude, if there's any player on defense that has benefited from Vic Fangio, it's been players like the Kobe Dean and Zach Bond. I mean, that's right. I think Zach Bond right now, you could make an argument he's a Pro Bowler. Will linebacker, Brandon Graham. What grade would you give Brandon Graham for his midterm grade? 36-year-old guy. I gave BG a C+. Can't believe how good he's played. I mean, I gave him a C+. I mean, outstanding. If you wanted to go B-, sure, I'm all right with that. I'm okay there. I mean, it's one thing to have his leadership. It's another thing to see production, too. Eduardo, he's not a Hall of Famer. He doesn't have the numbers for an edge rusher, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I don't care what Sal Palantonio. Nobody with 50 sacks is going to the Pro Football Hall of Famer that's an edge rusher. I mean, 1 year of double-digit sacks? I don't think so. Or 2, I think it was. Edge rushers are multiple-year double digits. Gotta love the midterm grades. Sills for Prez. Thank you, Mugsby. Bryce Huff. Grade. What would you give Bryce Huff? Oh, Eagle Hall of Famer for sure. Yeah, Eduardo. Totally a green jacket guy. Absolutely. Look at you guys. Look at how you guys F, Z. You're even coming up with worse grades for this guy. What a colossal disaster. Hey, I'll tell you this. One more time. You could give Howie shit for missing on this, but you also have to give them a lot of kudos. By the way, I found out that Zach Bond was a Vic Fangio recommendation. Okay? And by the way, the Eagles are shopping Bryce Huff as we speak. Complete disaster. that he did not replace so far at the halfway mark in his midterm grade, Hassan Reddick. Not that Reddick has helped himself. That whole situation was a complete disaster by the Jets and the Eagles. Wasted money. Player wasted a year in production. He wasted money himself. All around F for that entire situation by both franchises. By Howie and by Joe Douglas and the Jets. Complete disaster. Both sides of the ball. Jalen Carter. What midterm grade would you give him? What midterm grade would you give Jalen Carter? B. Embrace, B. Gabe, B+. C+, B-. Sue says B. I gave Jalen Carter for his midterm grade a B+. I think he's playing well. You want to hear this? He played all but 3 snaps on Sunday on defense. And I thought he played the back end of the game as well as he played the front end of the game. That's pretty impressive. He's making strides. He's taking on double teams. Eagle fan makes a good point. Hey, Sills, I was expecting more. Where is he in sacks right now? He's at 3. Is he at 3 sacks right now? Remember what I said that he would have? I said he'd have 9. Okay. Well, right now he's trending towards 6.5. It's kind of between 6, margin of error, 6.5, 9. He's going to be in that range. Dude, when you get 10 sacks from an interior lineman, it's insanity to think that that's not a good year. He's having a really good year for a defensive. Defensive tackles don't have 14 sacks unless you're Aaron Donald. And he's only in his second year. Jordan Davis. What would you give him? His midterm grade. As John McMullen would say, a misunderstood player who gets 20 snaps a game. I gave him a D+. He's a non-factor. He's not helping the other guy out. As of right now, I think the Eagles need another nose tackle. He's just not productive. I mean, the only thing he can hang his hat on that's decent is they're doing a good job against the run. And he could tell you this, hey, I'm not here for high volume plays and sacks and tackles. Then this goes back to the front office drafting him 13th then. You don't draft a nose tackle who has no production 13th. Like, he's no Vita Vea. Vita Vea destroys the middle of the pocket, gets sacks. When healthy, he's a force in the middle. Jordan Davis is not a force in the middle. Milton Williams. I gave him a C. I thought he's been okay, right? I think he's played well. Exceptional? Probably not. By the way, one more time, just to show you that the Eagles lie to you fans. Vic Fangio today said it was a wrist. The Eagles told you it was a hand. And to clarify, those are two different injuries. Did you break your fingers or did you break your wrist? They don't even know. The coordinator of the defense knows what's wrong with the player. And by the way, since when do players, didn't Hassan Reddick play last year with a cast on his hand in the first couple games of the year, first 4 games? Did he play with a cast? They didn't roll him back out there? Or is it because you're talking with the team at serious talks of trading him? They lied to you again. Now, are they trying to hide it because of trade? Okay, that could be. That could be. But when they come out with 2 different injuries on a player, and he had 6 snap counts in Sunday's game, you know they're lying and they're doing something else, and they're talking about trading the player. And I'm with you, Flexen. He ain't hurt. I don't believe he's hurt. The coordinator and the head coach, they don't know what's wrong with the player. So when Nick comes out after the game and says he had a hand injury, then Vic comes out and goes he has a wrist injury, and you don't tape it up and you don't send his ass back out there when Reddick played last year with a cast on his hand for 4 games? Come on, man. That guy ain't hurt. Hey, Sills, you think that we're finally finding success in Fangio's scheme for the fact that we're getting younger on the defense opposed to getting older? I don't know if youth has anything to do with that, but again, I heard a statistic today that was absolutely insane, and I loved it. 11 players on defense, 27 or younger. I think it surely brings one thing. It brings a lot of energy. Brings a lot of energy. That's why flexing. I'm not sure people told you guys this stuff before like I did that covered that team. Those people lie to you all the time about injuries. I don't really blame it. I don't want to give the opposing team, and especially if I'm trying to trade a guy, I'm not going to tell you he's banged up. Hit the like button, guys, please. Okay? I kind of get it. And they got caught in a lie in the last 2 days about Huff. Dude, Bryce Huff, they're trying to cover his poor play by saying now he's hurt. Same way they did Devin White. Devin White was never hurt. They just didn't want to play him. I mean, if you learned anything about the Devin White, okay, that's right. The dude just sucks this year. 0 productivity. Let's go to the offense now. Midterm grades, damn good. Cooper DeJean, C+. Could have been higher. Slay, C+. Blankenship, C. Gardner Johnson, D+. Mitchell, B-. Sweat, B+. Smith, C. Dean, C. Bond, A. BG, C+. Huff, D. Jalen Carter, B+. Jordan Davis, D+. And Milton Williams, C+. Or C, excuse me. Let's go to the offense. Please hit the like button, guys. They met his feelings, M. Reyes. Like it. Right tackle Lane Johnson. What grade would you give Lane? Midway point grades, midseason grades for Lane. A, B for Fly Parks, A. That's where I'm at. Lane Johnson is having an A season right now. He is a heck of a player, man. And if you watch him on film, he slides his feet. His hands are still great. He doesn't get beat on second moves. You rarely ever see him give up an inside pass rush move. He's your all-pro right tackle, for sure. If I were putting an all-pro team together for the NFL, he's my all-pro right tackle. He's spectacular in the run game. He's covering up the play at right guard right now. And we're going to get to that here in a minute. Not that I think it's awful in there, but it's a weakness on the O-line right now. Right guard, what would you give Becton and Steen? What would you give Becton and Steen? I gave him a C+. I think it's been C+. Okay? Not killing you. Position's not killing you. And you have a comparable backup in Steen. And when Becton's in there, they look good. Okay? I mean, they look good. Andreas goes, is Lane a future Hall of Famer? Probably third ballot, if I were to bet. Okay? Stout gets an A+. The players are interchangeable. Absolutely true. The coach is an A+ for what he does. Second in rushing. Passing games coming around. He's the best offensive line coach in pro football. Bill Callahan, also in Tennessee, is one. But, yeah. Cam Jurgens. What grade would you give him? Remember what my prediction was at the preseason? I said Cam will make the Pro Bowl. And he's taking over for Jason Kelsey. I think he's having a Pro Bowl season. The only difference is that he's not the same guy at that push that Jason Kelsey was. It's evident. But that's okay. I'm not gauging him on the tush push. I'm gauging him on the fact they're second in the NFL in rushing. How do you grade whether an O-lineman is a Hall of Famer? That's a great question, Josh. Remember the kid from Cleveland, Joe Thomas? Joe Thomas played on an 0-16 team. And what you have to do is you have to go back and you have to watch him versus elite pass rushers. And you have to watch him. You're right. It's tough for the O-lineman, especially if you're not on quality teams. Joe Thomas made the Pro Football Hall of Fame in first ballot. And he played on one of the most wretched eras in Brown history. How did he get there? He got there because all you do is listen to the people that lined up against him that were premier Hall of Fame defensive ends and says, I couldn't get around a guy. And you listen to those guys talking, and you listen to opposing coaches go, that guy's as good as it gets. And obviously you watch game tape on him. Okay? Get this. Well, how many right tackles are in Pro Football Hall of Fame? This is going to show you how fucking stupid people like this dummy are. How many right tackles do you think are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Okay. 6? How many? Let's look it up. How many right OTs in pro football? Because the left offensive tackle is the one that gets the majority of the votes, not the right tackle. Right tackles don't make it. Right tackles don't make it. How many right tackles? How many right tackles in Pro Football Hall of Fame? By position. And I'll tell you right now how many right tackles are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Show you what an idiot this guy is here. O-line. Ron Yeri, Jim Parker, Rayfield Wright. There's 4. And this dick thinks he's going in over left tackles. Is that what it is, David? 6? Third ballot, dude. I put it together for these Hall of Fame guys. Guy knows dick about the game. Landon Dickerson. Yeah, Mr. International. I think there's only 4, too. Okay, there's 4. In 108 years of pro football, there's 4. What a stupid ass. Landon Dickerson. I got B+. Absolutely. Hey, that's okay. Hey, Fly Eagles fanatic. I think he's a first ballot. Because you're biased. That's cool. You preface it like that, no problem. I got B+ for Landon. Landon's had a great year. I mean, I think he's had a great season. I think he's absolutely taken over for Zach in Dallas as the best left guard in pro football. I think he's outstanding. For a second-round draft choice, that's a hell of a pick. Fred Johnson. Interesting. What grade would you give Fred Johnson? What grade would you give Fred Johnson? C+, B+, C+. M. Reyes, B. I gave Fred a C+. I gave him a C+, man. To LJ's point, they're developing another tackle. That guy might be your heir apparent now, and you might not have to sign Micaiah Becton, because right now, if you were to tell me, here's Becton in and out of the lineup, I know it's been concussions, but he's been kind of banged up. Fred Johnson's had a better first half than Becton has. And if I were management, I'd be looking at this. Okay, well, Micaiah Becton, I'm going to use Fred Johnson against you when it comes to negotiating. If you want to go, I'm not paying you $15, $20 million. But if you want to stay for around $13 million, $12 million, LJ, bro, why are me and Sills agreeing today? Hey, LJ, I don't know. This is one of those off days. It's got to be something to do with the election. But LJ, wouldn't you do this? Okay. Hey, by the way, Steve, I'm not saying that Becton's not a good player. But LJ, wouldn't you do this if you're negotiating with a guy on a 1-year contract with Becton? Wouldn't you do this? Hey, man, if you want to test free agency, go ahead. Because I'll tell you something. I feel pretty good about the way Fred Johnson's developing. I feel pretty good the way he's coming along. And that guy's not going to be anywhere near the number that Becton's going to want to have. And I've got Trevor Keegan behind him, and I've got Jeff Stoutland. You just heard from LJ that the offensive linemen are interchangeable. Well, if they're interchangeable, and I've got Trevor Keegan, and I'm developing Fred Johnson, and I got Tyler Steen, do I need Micaiah Becton at $20 million? I don't think I do. That's got to be a personal decision for him in negotiating then. Because Stoutland and the play of Fred and the play of Steen and what I see with Keegan, I'm very apt to put any one of those guys at right guard. Okay? I could put Trevor Keegan in there. Okay? But again, I think you tempered that pay. Because I'm not gonna pay him $20 million though, LJ. I'm gonna go like this. I feel comfortable. I can put Fred Johnson in there. Not that I think he's the athlete that Becton is. But Steen's played well in there. By the way, I want Becton. I'm not saying get rid of him. But now you're looking at options. You know how many? Get this, guys. Look at the options that the Eagles have at O-line. No team in the league has these options. Nobody has these options in the O-line like the Eagles do. It's unbelievable. It's utterly unbelievable how they're developing these guys. Dude, you want to be an O-lineman and you want to get paid, you come to Philly. Because you'll either get paid here, like LJ says, or you will get paid somewhere else. Look at Andre Dillard. He stunk here, and he got a nice contract with the Tennessee Titans. That guy is a millionaire maker. What a great coach. What a coach that could save your career or enhance it. Dude. Dallas Goedert, Cal Katerem. Tight end. What grade would you give midterm these guys? I am so done with Dallas Goedert. I've had it with him. He's never in the lineup. And it's an every year thing. They need a quality line. They need a quality line tight end type player in that position. I mean, I don't mind getting two guys in there. Dallas Goedert, once again, banged up, ineffective. Now, is that the system? Maybe. I think Cal Kater's had a better season. I gave Dallas Goedert a C-, and I gave Cal Kater a C+. Okay? Dallas Goedert has just been, I mean, I really don't know what's going on there. And he makes $15 million. It's time to move on from that position. I mean, Cal Kater, I'm good keeping him. But you need another body in there that you can rely on. Hey, is Dallas a really good player? Yes. Is he reliable? Absolutely not. And by the way, you always have to worry about one thing with Cal Kater and his concussions. Is that guy going to be around, or is he one hit away from retirement? Devontae Smith. Midterm grades for Devontae Smith would be what? Would be what? A, B+, B, A+, B, Mr. International. A-, Mr. Reyes. B, B+, A+. A for availability, which he wouldn't be because he wasn't available the entire 8 games. I gave Devontae Smith a B+, only because of the missed time. I get it. Concussions and shit. It's part of the game, though, man. It's the war of attrition. But I'll tell you this, the last 4 weeks, you know what I love most about my favorite game is the -2 yards. You know why? He blocked in the run game. Did you see him blocking in the run game on Sunday, also against the Jags? Jesus criminy. He is a selfish player. He is just a selfless player. Doesn't bitch, doesn't complain, takes pay cuts. Phenomenal feet and hands. Everything. Everything you want in a football player, it is him. Character, leadership. But you name a fucking punter or a place kicker, your captain, and you leave that dude out of the room. Look, when I'm talking to people in the room that I need to motivate a team, Jake Elliott's not one of them. I tell that guy to go get me a fucking cheese dog. Hey, go to Gino's, get me a sandwich. I like it spicy. Okay? Devontae Smith is the ultimate pro. Seriously. Hey, Jake, do me a favor. Go get me a Mai Tai. Okay? 151 rum. In case you never heard of a Mai Tai. One of my favorite drinks. It's served in a big bowl. Only New Englanders know what a Mai Tai is. You ask folks out west or what have you, I'm not sure they know what a Mai Tai is. Big Sills loves Mai Tais. You get the little lemon. It's 151 in there, Sick that thing down, big old straw. You're sitting there at the tiki bar, sucking that bad puppy down. Okay? Sills goes, you really dislike kickers. They're not football players, dude. They're not. Kickers are not football players. They don't tackle. They don't throw the ball. They don't run really. I don't know what they kick. Yes. Okay. Sills drinks, chicks drinks. You just figured that out, Andreas? That Sills like girly drinks? Yes. Okay. Yes, I do like chicks drinks. Okay. Yeah. I don't like rum and coke because that's an old man's drink. Okay. Vodka cranberry. It's my time of the month. Sorry, Sue. All super chats go to the top. Sills, I'm in Hawaii right now, having a Mai Tai as we speak. Love the show. Thank you, dude. That's a great place to drink a Mai Tai. My wife and I go to Maui. Like it. Devante's my favorite player. Long Island. Oh, God, do I love Long Island. Dude, do I love the East Coast. Pina coladas. Oh, yeah. You're naming all the girly drinks. Bruce. Hey, Sills. I love bitches like you. Oh, man. All right. What grade would you give A.J. Brown for the first 8 games of the season? What grade would you give him? A B? B. Yeah, B. And the only reason it's not an A? Embrace. This guy plays 3 games. A plus. Oh, man. I gave him a B. Every time he's on the field, he's impact. He is. Too many games, right? Right, LJ? I don't know what's going on here. Okay? That can't be LJ. Somebody do me a favor. Give that guy a DNA test. Because that's not that fucker. That can't be. That can't be. Hey, LJ, will you do me a favor? Will you please call me an asshole so that we make it all feel better for all of us? Because I'm feeling a little uncomfortable here with me and you on the same page. Could you please call me an asshole and fatty? Call me fatty asshole. Can you do that for me? Because I think it would be helpful for both of us. Because I think we both feel dirty right now. So could you do that, please? I mean, I know you're not feeling comfortable. And I'm not feeling comfortable. Let's make everyone else feel comfortable. Okay? Sileo, you're a fatty asshole. Keep my coach's name out of your mouth. Something like that. We've got to put this thing back on the rails because I'm actually starting to perspirate over here. Because I'm thinking there's something going on. It can't just be, shut up, Sills, you asshole. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now we're back. Sills is an asshole. Okay. Thank you. I was getting a little nervous there. I was getting a little nervous. Okay. We're back up. We're back normal now. All right. Saquon Barkley. Regularly scheduled programming. Hey, Saquon Barkley. I couldn't have been more wrong about a guy. Hey, here's the difference between me and John McMullen. John won't admit it. I will. I can't believe how wrong I was about this dude. Okay? I can't believe how wrong I was. I mean, this guy's freaking unbelievable. He is unbelievable. You know why I can't give him an A plus, guys? Okay, drop pass, not going out of bounds, not getting a first down, missing a block on a sack. There's been some gaps in there, not going to totally kill him. So I gave him an A. Okay. Saquon Barkley will never see the inside of the Hall of Fame unless he buys a ticket. He's not remotely close to any of that. If Derrick Henry is a borderline Hall of Famer because of the numbers, Barkley doesn't even have the same numbers that Josh Jacobs does. Saquon Barkley going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame is not happening. Wait a minute. Jason, you think Barkley's a Hall of Famer? All those shitty years in New York killed him. Andreas goes, get this. Andreas goes, he thinks that Saquon Barkley is going to the Hall of Fame. Okay? Barkley stats. And that's how you get in. These are not Hall of Fame numbers for a running back. And by the way, is he a more talented player than Frank Gore? He ain't getting in. Gore's getting in. He's third all time in rushing. In his years rushing the ball, in his 7 years, he's had only 3 years with 1,000 yards. He'll have 4 in 9 years. And right now he's at 6,000 rushing yards. That is so far off the meter that he's not remotely close to being a Pro Football Hall of Fame. That is not happening. Okay, I mean, we're not remotely close. Barkley needs 3 or 4 more elite years to get a Hall. Maybe a ring will help. Ring may help. Ring may help. Here's the all-time leading rushers in pro football history. Shady McCoy's not getting in. Here, McCoy's at 11,000 rushing yards, and he's 22nd. And right now on the list, Barkley's 97th. So you think now according to LJ, 4 years puts him in 60s? I don't think so. I mean, Ernest Biner's got 9,000 rushing yards. Chris Johnson has 9,000 rushing yards. Eddie George has 10,000 rushing yards. O.J. Anderson has 10,273 rushing yards. And an MVP and a Super Bowl and a Rookie of the Year and 3 rushing titles. And he's not in. Warrick Dunn's got 10,000. He's not getting in over Warrick Dunn, and Warrick Dunn's not getting in. Shady's at 11,000. Corey Dillon's got more yards. Steven Jackson's got more yards. Fred Taylor's got more yards than what Shady does. Shady's a borderline Hall of Famer. Barkley's not. How do Terrell Davis? They went with Terrell Davis because of the time lost and the injuries that he had. And here, let's take a look at that with Terrell Davis. And same thing with Sayers. Sayers also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Sayers is in the top 100. And Sayers never played in the postseason. Derrick Henry right now is at 10,554, and that's 27th. Elliott's got his 40th. And here's Barkley here. But like he said, when you're talking Terrell Davis, they weighed in Terrell Davis's injuries. And it was more of an injury factor for Terrell Davis on how he got in. Same thing with Sayers. Those guys missed time because of injuries. I think him playing on those shitty football teams in New York, I just think they kill him, man. I mean, Terrell Davis, I'm looking where he is right now. I think was at 6,000 somewhere in there. Yeah. It's a great argument how he got in. I mean, and Barkley's been injured too. Okay? They don't. I mean, do I think that Saquon Barkley's a more gifted, talented runner than what Frank Gore was? Yeah, but Frank Gore's got 18,000 rushing yards, I think. Frank Gore's got 16,000 rushing yards on the nut. Only Walter Payton and Emmitt Smith have more rushing yards. That guy just was a warhorse, war machine. I mean, he never had but one or two spectacular years. But and Shady's a really great looking player, man. It's a shame though. Okay. Now here, that's a good take to what LJ said. He puts a 2,000-yard rushing season up. He's not going to have 1,000 yards receiving in the same season. But if he has 1,000 receiving yards and all, Barkley would have if he went drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. John Mara ruined his career, and the turf at the MetLife place, also a lot of his stats. I believe that's correct. Okay. Sills, right now, would you take Barkley or Henry? Henry, by far. Henry's got 1,100 yards rushing in 9 games. His production is off the charts right now. You guys said he was washed. Oh, well, LJ, I think he's a Hall of Fame talent. I do. I just don't think he's going to have the Hall of Fame numbers. So how many passing touchdowns did Jalen have with AJ and Devontae in 22-23? I think it was 22 touchdowns he had that year. I think it was 22. Okay. I think it was something like that. Yeah. Hey, Xander, make sure this guy's super chat because he's going to start comparing me to the Philadelphia sports teams and saying that I'm censoring him. And by the way, we appreciate super chats. Barkley still has a half of a career to go, Sills. No, he doesn't. He's 27 years old, dude. No, he doesn't. What did Barkley just do? Oh, that guy. Yeah, I like him too. Really cool. If Barkley was in Baltimore and Henry in Philadelphia, who'd have the better career? Well, they both were on shitty teams. I'm not going to say that Saquon Barkley is showing you flat out if the New York – there's no question. Hey, listen, there's no question. Saquon Barkley does not have 5 years left. We'll see. Guy with – no way. You keep running him 30 times a game, 27 times a game? No way. By the way, one guy is built for 340 carries. One guy's not. That's Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was built for 340 carries. Your guy's not. He's never been built for the kind of running right now that he's being asked to do. He never has. Okay? He has never been asked to carry the ball like he's been asked to carry the ball now. And that guy in Baltimore is used to carrying the ball 330 times a year. That's a common year for him. Okay? These takes what, dude? Facts are facts. So Baltimore schemes their offense to the players. Philly schemes their offense to the front office. Correct. Henry also sat for like the last 3 years of his career. He doesn't have as much mileage as people think he does. Let's take a look at that and see if you're right there, LJ. I'm not saying you're wrong. I know this. He's at the halfway point of the season, and Henry's got 1,100 yards or 1,050 or something like that. And he's just killing teams right now. I mean, he's at 10,054. And let's see what he's trending for right now. What he's trending for this season. I think I saw Barkley is trending for 1,800 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's trending right now. Saquon or Derrick Henry is trending for 2,000 rushing yards and 18 touchdowns. That's 6.5 yards a clip. And people were in here were telling me that guy was washed. That guy is not washed. That guy's a force. Let's see what LJ said here the last couple of years when it comes to his carrying. He's currently 27th. He's on pace for over 300. Right now, he's leading the NFL in rushing attempts and in rushing touchdowns. So much for a washed player. When you guys was telling me in free agency that you would take Barkley over Henry, well, Derrick Henry right now is averaging 118.9 yards a game, 11 touchdowns he has at the halfway mark. He's got 1,052 in rushing, and he's the leader right now after 9 games with 1,168. That's an MVP season. But that to LJ, last year he had 280 carries that led the NFL. The year before that, he had 349 carries that led the NFL. Year before that, when he played in the 8 games, he had 219. But here's Derrick Henry's carries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Derrick Henry's on pace for 360 carries this year. So he'll have 360 this year if he stays healthy. 360, 280, 349, 219, 380, 303. And in those years, every year he had 1,000 yards except the year he got hurt at the halfway mark where he had 967. 1540, 2027, 1538. Last year, 1167. Right now, he has almost as many yards as he did a year ago in touchdowns at the halfway point of the season. And he's averaging almost 117 yards a game. It's pretty insane. Okay? It's just pretty insane. And for the Dallas Cowboys, first 3 years, okay, yeah, he didn't carry the ball as much. He's right. So he's talking about the front end, okay? Because he didn't carry the ball that much in the front end. He's right. 110, 176, 215. So to LJ's point, really, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years of his 9 years, he's carried the mail. But the first 3, he's right if you think about it. Derrick Henry probably carried the ball in 3 years as many times as he'll carry the ball this year in one season. So it is a good take. Breaking news, Philadelphia Eagles are acquiring pass rusher Bryce Huff. GM Howie Roseman wanted to bolster his roster, and he gets this guy. Seals, you're so down bad. Sure. If I miss a super chat, Xander, let me know. Seals, Henry's the only running back I've watched who is getting better as he gets older. It's kind of like Adrian Peterson. He's all power and not elusive. He's almost like an old lineman running. I think he's absolutely sensational. Seals, the way Henry is trending makes me love how competent the Cowboys are. Wednesday show with Mark in Philly. This is going to be wild. Hey, Samuel, they passed on that guy, which is insane. I mean, okay. Finally, the quarterback, Jalen Hurts. What midterm grade do you give him? Oh, my God. A. B minus, B plus. A. Yeah. A plus. There you go, Brian. Flexing. A. Mike B. Brian C. A. We're going to do this exercise with Xander here. James, B plus. CJ, B minus. Here's what I gave Jalen Hurts. Elite, says Abe. Jalen Hurts, midterm grade, according to Big Sills, is a B. I gave him a B. Think he's worked on his turnovers? I think he's worked on getting back to what he does best. I think he's winning in spite of his shitty head coach. I think he's got a B right now. I think he's turned the last 4 weeks around versus the first 4 weeks. And he's been better these last 4 weeks than he was in the first 4. It's kind of what we said about the offense, that it would be bumpy coming out of the gate. So I gave Jalen Hurts a B. Barkley an A. A.J. Brown a B because of missed time. Devontae B+. By the way, Devontae Smith's having a better year than A.J. just because of availability. The tight end position combined is about a C+. Fred Johnson, I gave a C. Landon, I gave him a B. I gave Juergens a B. Becton and Steen a C+, and I gave Lane an A. Okay? Kellen Moore's going to get an opportunity. He is. He's going to get an opportunity. By the way, real quick here. NFL Coach of the Year candidates. Who would be your NFL midterm? James Jones, you in here? I'll grade the coordinators. I'll do that. Here are my 10 candidates for my NFL Honors Coach of the Year ballot and my vote for Coach of the Year. Number 10, Sean McDermott, Buffalo Bills. Number 9, from the Arizona Cardinals, Jonathan Gannon. Number 9, from the Atlanta Falcons, Raheem Morris. Number 7, from the Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur. Number 6, from the Steelers, Mike Tomlin. Number 5 for my Coach of the Year NFL Honors vote, Kevin O'Connell, Minnesota Vikings. Number 4 from the Los Angeles Chargers, Jim Harbaugh. Number 3 from the Kansas City Chiefs, Andy Reid. Number 2 from the Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell. And number 1, the midterm NFL Coach of the Year is Dan Quinn, Washington Commanders, who Big Sills picked to win the NFC East. What a sign today. Marcus Latimer is now a member of the secondary of the Washington Commanders. How you doing? I'm like Nostradamus, dog. Get this. Every one of you. Xander goes back. They haven't had a really good season since the mid-90s. I know. But you see what happens is Sills has these, these moments in here, and they come and talk to me. The football gods talk to me. And they come down from above. Stills. The Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders. There you have it. The Washington Commanders. Absolutely. This Titans, Harold Landry, a good move for the Birds. Yeah, he's a good ball player. He'd be a good addition. Just how much? Ravens going to kill us. They just got Davis White. Oh, no. Look at all these teams making moves. Now, this is true. Teams Josh Harris owns choke, so I'm not worried. Holy cow, look at this move. Oh, man, the Ravens are going for it. Hey, man, who you beat? Look at those Commanders. We're going to do NFL Player of the Year, Offensive Coach of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, MVP, and Defensive Player of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year. We'll do that here in a minute. Absolutely, man. Look at the Ravens making moves. Look at the Commanders making moves. I'm just not sold on the Commanders. You're sold on the Eagles, though, because they played one team, or they've beaten one team with one winning record, but you're sold. All right. Now you add Marcus Latimer. Woo-hoo. Oh, hey, by the way, I didn't really think Vic thought that was a great stat today when he was asked the question. Hey, Vic, you had 11 guys under 27. He goes, yeah, I'd really like to have some veterans back there because it's really not an age thing with me. I was like, isn't the idea to try to get younger? All right. Or is that a Howie thing? See, Vic's not trying to get younger. He's just trying to get better. You guys want to get younger. Vic's trying to get better. We're getting Chase Young before 4 p.m. Book it. You might. Saints might be selling everything off. I'll tell you what, man. I'll take Cam Jordan if you don't want him. Bring that guy's ass up and send that fat ass shake and bake guy down to New Orleans so he can eat some of that gumbo. Jordan Davis, I'll take Cam Jordan any day you want. Get that guy's ass in the room. I'll take him. How you doing? All right. Without further ado, by the way, please hit the like button. Super chats have been exceptional. Will Howie make a move by the 4 p.m. Eastern deadline? Will he or won't he? Will he find an edge rusher? By the way, who Detroit get? So Sills told you that Darius Smith was out there for Howie to add to his bullshit edge rushers that he has now. Howie doesn't have edge rushers. You're not getting pressure with those guys. You got one guy giving you pressure. Rest of those guys they're tomato cans, Spider Ricos. Could have helped you a little bit. Who gets him? The Lions. The Lions. Howie's going to sit back because you know why? He loves his roster. 6-2. Okay. When we beat them, you're going to say, it's the regular season. What have you won? It is what it is. Sills, how you doing? Come on, Prince. Without further ado, the co-host of Birds 365. And by the way, I have nominated him for a UN seat so that he could be a moderator when nations go at it with one another, because he's got to sit in between McMullen and myself. And by the way, he's throwing shots too. Nobody is safe with JAKIB now. You got Xander killing people too. The host and co-host of Birds 365, Big Z, Xander Krause.
What is up, great people of JAKIB Sports and Mr. Big Sills? What's going on, brother?
How you doing, dog? How you
I'm
feeling
doing
today?
great, man. I mean, how can I complain? Birds are 6-2, sitting pretty. I like that move the Commanders made today, man. That's a good move. That's a good player, man, Marcus Lattimore. I think he's only 28 years old.
Yep.
Probably a guy they'll have there for 3-4 years at least, and that's a good move. That could be their Darius Slay trade that we made a couple years back.
Absolutely.
You know, they needed a good cornerback over there. That Emmanuel Forbes guy wasn't quite cutting it. So, hey, maybe I'll eat my words a little bit on that. Maybe they'll prove that they are a real legitimate contender.
Are you suggesting they're not?
Well, no, I'm just suggesting that I said
quarterback has played good all through the first half of the season.
I said that I wasn't quite sold on them yet. That's what I said.
Okay.
I think adding a guy like Marshawn Lattimore shows you that that organization wants to go for it. They want to be a contender. They want to play with the best teams in the league. I think it's the right step. I thought it was a great move for them. I'm not going to lie to everybody. I thought that was a really good move by Washington. Shores up that defensive front or that defensive secondary. And, you know, they're in a good spot. I'm not going to lie. They're in a good spot. Now they got to keep going, but I still like us to win the NFC East.
Do you think Howie makes a move by the top of the hour?
Well, we're going to be on here doing it. So I'm looking forward to if something comes down in the moment for us to kind of instantly react to it. But
even if they don't, we will react to the fact that they didn't make a move because it'll tell us what they think of their current
I don't
roster.
think they're making a move. That's my gut feeling.
Even with Puff and stuff being a complete disaster. By the way, they're lying about his injury. Because Vic said today,
I think Bryce Puff is too friendly of a nickname. I don't think he's even a Puff anymore. He's like a Bryce Stuff or Bryce.
I call him Casper the Ghost. Sometimes you see him,
good.
sometimes you don't.
There's nothing there. Puff would insinuate that there's something there.
It's like the Invisible Man.
Yeah, he's not Bryce Puff. There you go. That's where I saw that. Was flexing. He said Huff ain't puffing. I agree. He ain't puffing, man.
Stink puffs.
Yeah, that's good. Bryce. Yeah.
HR Puff.
You got to come up with something.
HR Puff and Huff.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I'm going to do my top 10 quarterbacks with you here in a minute too.
Hey, by the way, man, I thought you were really I really liked your midterm rankings. I thought you were really on with most of them. Honestly, I agreed with almost every one of them. And I thought, shout out to LJ. I thought LJ was actually really good, man. LJ had some really, I mean, he was fair. He had some really good ratings.
I don't believe that's him. There has to be. It has to be somebody
LJ's always been fair. He likes messing with you. That's why he's never gone anywhere, because I respect that he, you know, I understand what he's doing and he's backing his team and he's never taken it to a obnoxious level. And he's one of our valued viewers here on JAKIB. He's obnoxious, but that's what makes him a good troll.
Big C says that Lattimore's overrated, always hurt and unavailable. That's so nice.
There you go. Look, shut up, Xander.
All right, Xander.
PJ.
Let's go over it with you on how you see these midterm grades here. We're at the midway point of the season. By the way, I got asked the question about the coordinators, and we'll do the head coach too. We might as well. Give a midterm grade to Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio, I'm giving a B+. I'll give a B+ too. These are off the top of the head, by the way. I don't want to give him an A because you can't dismiss the slower, inconsistent start. But the last 4 weeks have been obviously really good. And we're up there, I think, top 5 in the league right now in defense overall. So, I mean, you could easily argue for that to be an A, but I'll give him a B+ there.
Who do you think has had a harder job this first half of the season, Kellen Moore or Vic?
Vic is trying to make chicken soup out of chicken shit a lot more than Kellen Moore has to. And I'm not saying that in a bad way on our defense, but it's very clear that the talent on our offensive side of the ball in Philly is, you know, I think any coordinator in the league would be happy to inherit that type of talent.
I think you're overestimating how hard it is to get everybody involved, though.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm assuming that both of them have a hard job, not including the talent. So I think that the talent that Kellen has makes his job easier than
See, I think Vic's had a tougher one too, and I agree with you because Vic didn't know what his talent was. Kellen knows what
nobody
these
knew.
guys, Kellen knows what these guys can do.
I mean, if
You
Vic
know
wasn't
who
here,
they
these
are.
guys might not even be playing this good for all we know. You
What'd
know?
you give Kellen?
I mean, I think we're top 10 or top 7 offense right now. I think you got to give him at least a B. I mean, and it's tough to judge because, we've seen almost the tale of two tapes with this offense. And it's like, well, if I'm judging the last 4 games, I'm giving him an A. If I'm judging the whole season, and that's what you're doing here, it's midterm. You can't just throw out those first 4 games. So I'll give him a B plus too, because I think both of them have been B plus. And if you're asking me Nick Sirianni next, I'm going to go to in the C range. I mean, you're passing because you're 6-2, but it's like that saying they used to tell me in school because I was not a good student. C's get degrees, man. Just get a damn C. My dad used to say, just get a C.
No, I used to say, hey, if I'm on the podium, I'm good.
Yeah, well, I think you have to get on the podium or to get a C. To
ABC, dude, get me on the podium.
Exactly.
I'm good.
So if I get a C, I'm good. But that doesn't mean you're overachieving by any means, right? So I'm giving Nick a C.
I gave Vic a B, and I gave Kellen Moore a C plus, and I gave because he's 6-2, I have to give Sirianni a C. I mean,
yeah, I think that's fair. That's where
I mean, C minus or D plus is just
why a C plus for Kellen?
Because I think it was 2 different tales of 2 different tapes, like you said. So I think it was 2 different teams. There were turnovers high in the first 4.
Yep, there were.
The offense was completely different and stumbling because of injuries and continuity issues in the first 4. They were winning because of the roster, not really the scheme. And in the last 4, it's been a lot better, and it's been trending up. That's why I gave him a C plus. By the way, with trending up, and you could, if you wanted to go B minus with that with me, I would be okay with that.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm feeling. I mean, I could even give him a little higher just because I feel as though the last 4 weeks our offense has really been dominant.
Recent bias is
You're
not,
right. There is some
problem.
but there is some of that going on for sure.
Yeah, because you're giving the trending up.
Yeah, I mean, right now the Eagles are 6th in total offense and 3 in total defense. Now,
I think there's only
we had this dude on in the summer, right? And Aaron Schatz, his name was, or something. And he's the guy that created, DVOA, I guess, which is an advanced analytic metric. And, people were John put out a tweet that he got like 100,000 views on it of him putting those the rankings. And there's people in the chat like, that's not what they're ranked DVOA. And I'm like, how important is this DVOA that everybody is so high on? What the DVOA
There's
analytics
so many
are.
metrics now and analytics now that you can take anyone and make anything look awful and anyone make look good. So you've kind of have to run it through the strainer a little bit, Xander, to figure out what you think and what you're watching. How many times do you listen to national analysts talk about your football team, and sometimes you shake your head and you go like this, what the fuck is he talking about? He doesn't watch this team. I mean, those guys watch mostly from 35,000 feet, and they don't really know what they're looking at, and they don't know what's been trending over the last couple of weeks. So, I mean, I look at it that way.
So we had a dude on in the summer. I mentioned that, right? I mean, This is why I can't take him seriously. So the guy that created DVOA, Aaron Schatz, his name is, he predicted the Eagles before the year on Birds 365 based on his DVOA. And he's like, oh, my track record is great because I follow DVOA. I don't care about, analytics or fandom or any of that stuff. He had the Eagles winning 8.5 games and he had the Cowboys winning the NFC East. Okay, dude.
Yeah, well, and I told you the Cowboys, and I got the Eagles at 9 wins. And
I mean, go ahead and type it in on our YouTube channel if you guys want to go and watch the segment with the dude. Analytics guru Aaron Schatz has Eagles underachieving in 2024. It's a 40-minute video. It was a 40-minute interview with him.
I think the Cowboys are going to go on a 7-game losing streak. I mean, I think they're going to lose 7 games.
I don't see how they can win. I really don't.
No, I don't either. I mean,
yeah.
I think Cooper Rush is solid, but I don't think that guy's going to win you any kind of games. By the way, he's 5-1 as a starter for the Cowboys. And Kellen was talking about him and coached him and said he's a smart guy. He knows what to do. Watch this. Let me tell you something, too. Think about this before we go on to these grades here. if you're the Dallas Cowboys, what if that guy beats, and I'm saying hypothetically here, and I don't believe, by the way, so you know, I don't believe this will happen. Hypothetically, they beat the Cowboys beat the Eagles this weekend. This guy plays great. All of a sudden, he's 4-2 over the next 6. That comes off IR. Would you put him back in there, or would you keep? I mean, and by the way, a hamstring, you put a guy on the IR with a hamstring and you take your starting quarterback out for 4 weeks. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I think they shut down the season, the Cowboys. And I think that guy, again, I get a hamstring, but I think they shut this thing down. I'm not bringing him back after 4 weeks.
So you think there's some skullduggery going on in Dallas?
Yeah, I think they shut him down.
Interesting.
Dude, I don't believe. Oh,
Where's 304?
A.J. Brown had a hamstring injury, and he missed 3.5. Okay? He missed 2.5 weeks, I think it was.
You think Dallas is phoning in the season? Then they make a move today for a wide receiver?
Yeah, I do.
They traded today for a wide receiver.
I know they did. The kid from Carolina.
Yeah.
And?
Mingo is his name, Mingo?
So you make a trade for a guy now that you have a backup quarterback for a month minimum that's going to throw to him? I mean, how did that move even make sense?
Mingo
Cooper Rush is your quarterback the next month, and the Cowboys make a move for a wideout.
Yeah, really.
Instead of a D tackle to stop the run where you're getting murdered.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Jerry Jones is not. If
you're Micah Parsons, do you want to come back to this shit?
I think we should trade for Micah Parsons, maybe.
Fuck that. I don't want anything to do with that guy.
I knew you were going to say, I'm just messing. I don't think they would even consider doing that, but I do wonder about what Jerry's going to do with him. I mean, you think he's having buyer's remorse on Dak already?
I think he's got to look at it and go like this. I paid $36 million for a receiver. I paid $60 for a quarterback, and I've got 3 wins. I mean, who in the world pays that? Hey, one thing about the Eagles got a $200 million offense. They're 6-2. Hey, at least, Xander, you can always say this.
Minutes. We got 15 minutes. You think a trade's coming?
I think some sort of C+ deal's coming.
You do?
I don't think it's going to be an A+ move.
I mean,
I think they need an edge rusher, though.
There's some people out there saying Eagles are active in calling right now.
Oh, I know they are. They were looking at that Zadarius Smith move.
Okay,
and
what held them back from making the move? Because they barely gave up anything to get that guy.
I think Vic.
Hold on to 6 rounds.
I think Vic did. I think Vic's very happy with what he has.
I'm honestly, I tweeted out earlier today on my X account at Real Xander. For those who want to go and give me follow, I will follow everybody back. I tweeted out, I don't have an issue with them staying pat, honestly. If the right move is there, take it, but don't be desperate. You don't need to be desperate. I don't believe they need to be desperate.
No, they don't. Yeah. But I'll tell you what they do need. They need to make sure that if there's a position of issue, there's 2. Where are the positions right now that you need depth? I say tight end, and I say wide receiver.
Depth, definitely tight end. Because you just don't know with Dallas Goedert. I mean, and I said in the offseason I thought he was overrated. And, everybody got all upset with me. But the dude is just not out there enough. You just don't know what you're getting. So, tight end depth, definitely. What was the second one you said?
Wide receiver, and I'll throw edge. Tight end, wide receiver.
Okay. What do we need wide receiver depth for?
Because you need to have a viable piece out there, at least in case one of those guys goes down. You can't be out there. And AJ has shown you this year that he's been banged up all year. I mean,
when AJ Brown
he's missed more time this year than he has his entire time in Philadelphia.
So even when,
not an A+ move, dude.
Well, okay, that's fine. So when we had,
would you want Adam Thielen?
If we had a different type of quarterback that threw to those guys, that threw to his 3rd and 4th receiver, yes. I mean, remember, Sills, we traded the 3rd round pick for Jahan Dotson. We had a game already this year where neither Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown was on the field. You know how many yards Jahan Dotson had in that game?
I know. I get it.
Just guess.
35.
11. 11 yards.
So you feel comfortable with the guys you have on the roster right now if Brown loses significant time?
I don't. But I'm accepting that it was a failed trade, and that was the
Okay.
move you needed
So
to make.
you're not going to take another swing at it? You're just
Not
going
at
to
that
go,
position.
wow. So you're just going to go like this. Well, we're going to stay light at the wide receiver
You're
position.
going to hope for health. You messed up.
That's not a plan.
All right. You messed up on the trade, though.
Well, I'm not going to make two mistakes. I'm going to go back in the room and get me a guy
In the same year.
Now, when do they get Britton Covey back?
I don't know. He went on IR early, so it might be soon. I don't know. I haven't heard much.
And I might not make that because Covey's coming back. And
Oh,
Jalen likes him.
Now Covey's a viable option?
I'm talking about a decent body. I'm not talking about the guys.
Yeah, my point is that I know what you're saying, and I'm not conceding that we don't have a decent body. I'm saying they needed to hit on Jahan Dotson and that trade.
You have to move on from that the same way you have to move on.
I think they're going to ride it out. They're not going to put more assets into that position.
I didn't say a big third. I didn't say that. I'm talking about a mid-range deal where a 5 or 6 you can make them. Dude, Adam Thielen's not going to cost you a 3. He's going to
if they wanted to go that route, I would have talked to Joe Douglas for the guy they traded today for a late pick. Because you don't need a guy.
He traded for Baltimore. He traded Baltimore.
I don't know where he went. Mike Williams. He went, or was it Mike Williams? He went to
Mike Williams went to Pittsburgh.
Yes, that's where he went. Yep. That's the kind of guy I would have went for, because you can't, if you go for a younger guy that's on his rookie contract, there's a premium on that trade. And that's why we paid a third for Jahan Dotson. And you're seeing guys like,
I don't think you have anybody in that wide receiving room. And I don't think your wide receiving room is that good, except for the top 2 guys who are the best in the game.
You're certainly not wrong about
that.
Okay.
I think it goes like this. I think it goes A, then it goes down to C minus guys.
Yeah. So Josina Anderson just reported Eagles are standing pat as we approach the deadline.
Because you know why? They're not going to make a splash move. I thought either edge, depth at tight end. Because right now they've got to look at the war of attrition, because they're pretty happy with what they have right now. Because
did you see the Steelers' second move today?
No.
Yeah, they made a second move. Who'd they get? They got the linebacker from. Let me find it for you. Oh man, Baltimore. Yeah, they got Tre'Davious White.
Yep. Added him now. Baltimore's taking swings right now.
Yeah, and so is Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh traded for pass rusher Preston Smith. Yep. I'm surprised that the Packers moved off somebody, because I think they're a legitimate contender in the NFC, which is interesting to see.
Has to be a contract.
Yeah, exactly. So the Pittsburgh traded for him to bolster their defense. By the way, he gets added to a defensive line that features TJ Watt. I mean, we're playing the Steelers soon, by the way, everybody. So,
that game got elevated with the Steelers with the player Russell Wilson too.
And also now they added Mike Williams and they added Preston Smith. I mean, they got, they're looking to make a move. They think they can capitalize right now on an AFC that's weakened in the last year.
Think about this. This is what their offense looks like as of today right now. Mike Williams, Pickens, Najee Smith, and Russell Wilson. Najee Harris and Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
That's not awful.
No, that's not. And who's that tight end they have? Is it Freiermuth?
Yeah, he's pretty good too. Yep.
Yeah, he's solid too.
Yep, he's a solid guy. All right, let's do these midterm grades here.
All right,
then we'll do the top 10 quarterbacks.
Are we doing another top 10 QB list?
Yeah, we'll do a top 10 QB list.
I got to make mine, but I'll do that.
All right. I gave Cooper DeJean because he didn't play in the first 4 a lot. He's trending over the last 3.5. Really good. I gave him a C+.
I'm going to go a little higher than that.
Even though he missed all them games?
Well, I'm going to base my decision solely on the play. I'm not going to give him an A or anything because of missing those games, but based on the play, he's been better than a C+.
Again, midterm grades is not the last 3 games. This is like what the guys have done for the half the season. You're segmenting it.
I know
wait a minute.
I know what a midterm grade is.
He's fucking cherry picking.
I know
that's what he's doing.
Grade is.
All right. Okay. All right, Eagle Honk. What'd you say? What grade would you give him?
I give him a B.
That's not okay. B. All right, here we go. Here, this is a good. This will be another good one here. Darius Slay, I gave him a C plus.
A C plus. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
That's
no.
the worst grade I've ever heard.
Yeah, okay.
Darius Slay hasn't played like a C plus player this year. I'm not even a Slay guy. You got to be honest.
I am honest. I think he's had a C plus season.
Oh,
Plus, he's been in and out of the lineup. He's been banged up all year. This guy wants to give him a fucking A, and this guy goes over and powders his nose half the game. Holy Maron to me. Oh, hey,
I don't have the stats right in front of me.
Eagle green shades are on here right now. First two guys. This guy's missed a ton of playing time in the first half of the season. Okay, what grade you give him?
What'd you give him?
A C plus.
A C plus?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not giving him an A or anything, but I don't want to give him a C plus. That sounds too low to me.
Okay.
I mean, I equate C plus to, me on a good day back in school. And let me tell you, me on a good day was not quite good.
Dude,
So
I think a C plus for a guy that's been in and out of the lineup. I'm not saying he's had a bad season. I'm just saying availability plays a part of it too, dude. I mean, I think the guy, if the guy had played all the games, he's probably getting a B from me. But right now, he gets a C plus. So what you doing?
All right, I'll give him like a B minus.
B.
B minus. B minus is good.
Because you're an Eagle guy. Okay, B's all right. How about Reed? Free safety. I gave him a C.
I give CJ Gardner-Johnson a C. I'm not giving Reed a C. I'll give Reed a C plus.
Okay.
He hasn't been great, but he has not been a liability. Actually, he's been better of the two
I
safeties.
think he's been a solid player back there. I think
All
he's
right,
been
so
really.
C just means solid for you.
Yeah, I think he's been really solid, man.
I think C for me is solid. B is adding on to the defense. A is
C sound like it's a shitty grade.
Well, I mean, I don't think C is.
I'll tell you what, C keeps you in the starting lineup.
C just means you're a guy. You're not a.
No, C means you're a starter. D plus means you're a guy.
Here, who are we? We're not grading anybody but the starters.
No, we're gonna have a couple more guys here. Gardner Johnson, I gave a D plus to. I think he sucked all year.
I'm fine with that. A critical grade of him. Yep, D plus is good. I'll give him. I'll side with you there.
I can't wait for this one. I gave Quinyon Mitchell a B minus for the first 8 games of his career.
I like that. I was just gonna say B plus.
Okay.
I like B plus for him. I think part of it is expectation. Always, I didn't expect him to be this good this quick. And
I expect him to be a B player back there at starting corner.
No, I know, but I'm saying that's part of my evaluation where I give him a B plus is that he's superseded what I expected of him, and he's been good by NFL standards as well. So I'm giving him a B plus. Yeah.
By the way, if we're going by rookie standards, he gets an A plus from me.
Well, that's true. That's certainly true.
Okay. And by the way, if you go Cooper DeJean, he gets an A also if we're going by rookie standards. I'm going by NFL. You see, the one thing I do here, Junior, I'm grading these guys against the rest of the great players in the game.
Yeah, I am too.
Okay. If you're going rookie, those two guys are A's. There's no doubt about it. All right.
No doubt. I would agree with that for sure.
Josh Sweat, I gave a B plus to.
You like Josh Sweat.
I think his season has been great.
It has. I mean, he's quietly putting together a really nice season. Let me look what his stats are right now, just because I know he's doing. I mean, he's playing really, really pretty good football.
And as a matter of fact, don't you really think that he's actually picked it up? Like the last.
He's got 5 sacks. Yeah, he's having a good year. 7 assisted, 19 tackles. He's having a good year. I'll give him credit. He's having a good year, and he looks. What'd you give him, a B plus?
I gave him a B plus.
I'm going to side with you there. I'm not going to go A, but I'm going to stick with the B plus there.
Let me give you this right here with Josh Sweat. Like you said, he's got 5 sacks. Right now, Josh Sweat is trending to have 11 sacks on the season, and he's trending to have 50 tackles. 50 tackles, 11 sacks.
Yeah,
that guy is a Pro Bowler. He's a freaking Pro Bowler right now. I mean, you could make an argument, not all pro.
Good. I'm glad we got somebody who's playing like a Pro Bowler, because it sure is not Bryce Frankenstein.
Okay, speaking of him. Wait, no, we're not there yet. I get this. I think people gave me a ton of shit on this one. I gave Nolan Smith. I gave him a C. Is that too kind?
Nolan Smith?
Yeah.
I give him maybe a C+.
Okay, this is what he's trending on. To have 6.5 sacks, to have 45 tackles.
I don't even know if he's getting 6.5.
Right? No, they're just saying he's trending at this to get 6.5 sacks. So would you be happy with this in the first year of him starting if he had 45 tackles and 6.5 sacks? Would you be okay with that?
No, that's a rotational piece. That's what Nolan Smith should be getting as the third edge, not the guy he paid $17 million.
First year starting, you don't think that's a decent season to get?
Oh, for Nolan. I thought you were talking about Bryce Hall.
No, for Nolan.
Oh, for Nolan, that'd be great. That's why I put him above a C.
Yeah,
I put him at a C+.
Okay,
I think he's doing okay right now.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean, also he's setting the edge. He's doing the other things better than I expected too.
Yeah.
He's not been bad in the run. And for an undersized edge like that, you'd expect him to be bad in the run.
He's quietly getting a little better.
You know what my favorite part about Nolan Smith is right now? I love that he never gives up on a play.
Yeah.
Like, there was that one tackle I always go back to. I forget which game it was, but he got 28 yards upfield and made the tackle after rushing the passer. I'm like, that's a guy that didn't give up on a play. Most linemen are jogging back to the play. He hustled back, made a good tackle. So I like that about him. He's a hustle guy. He's an effort guy, and I give him credit for that.
Keep an eye on what's going on. It's 4:01 Eastern right now. Just to see.
I'll check. I'll make sure.
Again, by the way, take a look at what's going on in the NFC East also.
Eagles just released Albert O, but doesn't look like any moves are coming. I mean, I see Albert O.
They still have until 30 minutes after because, sometimes you can submit them at 4 and they'll be released a little bit later on. I don't think there's going to be any moves either. But again, take a look at Detroit, San Francisco, Minnesota, Green Bay, and any of those teams, because those teams are the teams that you're going to have to try to fight. Dallas isn't selling anything, which is stupid. They're buying for Cooper Rush, which is I don't get. He can't get any dumber. Let's get to Jalen Carter here.
Who are the top 3 teams in the NFC right now?
About 49. I got the 49ers getting McCaffrey back. I think they're going to be there. I think that Minnesota is going to be there. And I totally think Detroit is going to be there. I think those teams, Green Bay possibly, will be in there too. Remember, it's not about how the teams are playing over the last week or two. It's what do you think that roster is going to look like at the end when everybody gets back? I think the Rams could be formidable.
So Lions make a move today.
What?
Lions make a move today, and Washington makes a move.
Darius Smith and Washington is clearly going to be a player too. So if I had
what do you think of Eagles standing pat the trade deadline?
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, that's kind of.
I don't have a problem with them not making a move. I think they're very comfortable. I think Vic Fangio had a lot to do with that, and I think Kellen Moore had a lot to do with that. And by the way, think about this. They've got to be looking at their injured players, thinking that it's almost like signing someone. When you get Mulata back, you've created depth with Fred Johnson. You know what I said about Mekhi Becton? Think about what Mekhi Becton and Tyler Steen, and then you got Trevor Keegan behind you. When Mekhi Becton, who played really well this past weekend against the Jags, if that guy goes out there and starts hijacking Howie Roseman for wanting to get more money, dude, Fred has been really good for a guy who has stepped in and not played significant amount of playing time. And then you've got Tyler Steen, who stepped in, didn't give up a sack in the previous game, and has played well. And you got Trevor Keegan, who I think is going to be a ball player who could be a starter in many places. And then if you keep Becton, dude, I've never seen an offensive line and an offensive line coach have more options. I've never seen anything. I tell you what, it is totally an O-line factory. The Eagles are an O-line factory.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man, how good their offense.
It's unprecedented.
Yeah, it is.
Sander, that is the richest position in all of football. Why? Because there's 5 of them.
They're the MVP of the team. Let's be real.
I mean, insane.
I mean, I know it's Saquon Barkley, but really it's the offensive line. Have you seen the stat on, last year, Saquon's average yards before he was touched was like 2.1, and that's what it was every year of his career. And that's basically what the average is in the NFL almost. And since he's been here, it's like 4.9 yards until he gets touched.
Do you understand how fucking insane that is? That
It's
you're
unreal.
You're 5 yards into the line of scrimmage before you have contact.
That's
if
unreal.
He falls forward, he has 8.
He is really good at falling forward.
Oh yeah, he's really great at not mind. Again, that's a little Emmitt Smith in him too. You don't see a lot of minus plays out of him. Okay. By the way, if Henry wasn't having the year he's having, dude, I don't know what in the world people were thinking drafting that guy in the second round. Derrick Henry's he's got 1050. He's leading the NFL in rushing again at 30.
You think he'll be a Hall of Famer?
I do. Guess what he's doing right now? He's got the Triple Crown. He's averaging 6.3 a carry. Xander, listen to this. In today's passing game, Derrick Henry's averaging 6.3 a carry. He's got 188 carries, which leads the league. He's got 1052, which leads the league in rushing. And he's got 11 touchdowns, which leads the league in rushing TDs. And he's starting.
It's unbelievable. One more trade came in, by the way. It was not the Eagles. It was another NFC foe. And it was the 49ers. They traded with the Texans for backup defensive tackle Khalil Davis. So looks like some depth for them for their defensive line.
Depth. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jalen Carter, midterm grade. I gave him a B+.
Ooh, higher than I thought from you. Because I was going to give him a B+, but I was teetering between a B and a B+. Why'd you go B+? Because I thought you were going to dock him for some of the inconsistencies.
Only one game where I thought he had to stretch a shitty ball from the Atlanta to New Orleans. Then he picked it up in New Orleans. I thought he had and the Buck game, I was a little bit down on him over. But overall, 8. I heard a statistic this past weekend that I fell in love with him. There were 62 snaps that they had defensively. He missed 2 snaps.
Yeah, right.
He played that a lot. 60 of the 62 snaps on Sunday for a 320-pound defensive tackle. You got my attention.
That's right. I like that. All right, I'll go B+. I mean, I was leaning B+, but I thought you were giving him a B.
He's learning how to play pro ball. And by the way, let me see where he is right now on what he's doing. I know people thought that this kid was going to be a 10-sack guy, but at the end of the day, remember, 10 sacks, that's insanity for a defensive interior tackle.
Kind of a guy I don't worry too much about stats. Right. I'm more focused on impact of the game there.
Okay, so he's floating around 7 sacks this year and 45 tackles. Hey, dude, if you give me 45 tackles interior and 7.5 or 7 sacks from a defensive tackle, and you're taking the majority of the double teams, he's going to the Pro Bowl. That's a Pro Bowl guy. Dude, 10 sacks that's an extra level kind of player.
Yeah.
That when you're there at 10.
I think he could be there. I mean, maybe not this year, but I think on several years of his career, he'll have that because I think he's that good. But he's going to get the Aaron Donald treatment eventually. I'm
going to tell you, he's having a Fletcher Cox year.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, I ain't complaining about that. That's for sure.
Me too.
Yeah.
Dude, obviously, I'm not down on him. I gave Jordan Davis a D+.
I thought that was fair. I can't give him a C.
Can I tell you why I didn't give him a C? It's the amount of reps. Get this, and when they say this, like John does, well, that's just not his job description. Well, the 13th pick in the draft is not just a 2-down player.
It's a wasted pick. If you picked him,
it's that high. That high.
That high. It's the 13th overall pick is a very significant draft pick. Absolutely. I mean, even the difference between a 13th pick and like a 22nd pick on the draft ranking calculator, whatever you want to do, is huge, massive. So you pick him 13 overall. He's clearly not that type of guy. I mean, 13th overall, you're looking for a player like Jalen Carter, a guy that's going to impact your game in a big way. And if not, it's essentially a bust. And that's what he is. I mean, he's not that guy. That's for damn sure.
How'd you like to beat Dallas and have to do this with Mozzie Smith, who gets an F for a second year in a row? You talk about a wasted pick. How about Milton Williams? I gave him a C+.
I'm gonna give him a B. A B. I think he's been pretty good. I almost wondered if the Eagles were going to try and get him signed, because he's in a contract year too, and I think he's been pretty good. He creates a lot of pressure. He gets through, and he takes advantage of when they double up Carter or Davis. He beats his man in one-on-one a lot, and he does a good job at that. So I'm going to give him a B. I think he's exceeded expectations as a rotational DT.
I gave Nakobe Dean a C.
Okay, walk me through that, because I have him a little higher than that.
Well, I think he still struggles in space. I think he's getting better as a tackler. He's improved a lot. And you got to remember where he came from. I didn't think anything of him whatsoever. And I think right now, his first half, I've been really impressed with him. And by the way, for the record, I'm saying that in the next couple of weeks, that guy could elevate even higher with me. That he's gone from, see, in my eyes, Xander, from a D player to a C plus type player who's on pace to have 128 tackles. I mean, that's,
I'm giving him a B.
White,
I like B for him.
Kaiser White had 117 tackles his last year here, playing the same position. What did you think of Kaiser White?
B.
Okay. All right. Well, that's kind of what he's doing. He's doing Kaiser
I'm giving him
White.
a B. I feel good about Nakobe Dean. I approach games now where I don't feel like Nakobe Dean is a massive liability.
Yeah, he's not.
No, I feel pretty good actually about Nakobe Dean. I'm going to give him a B. And for everybody asking, the trade deadline is officially over, Rashad. Eagles did not make a move. One more move came down at the deadline. It was the 49ers. The only move the Eagles made was they released tight end Alberto. So I guess literally right at 401. So they might have been trying to trade him, and then it didn't work out.
Yep, absolutely.
So nothing for the Birds. We all we got. We all we need. What's that saying?
No, it's all us right now here.
Yeah.
How about this? I gave Zach Bond an A.
I'm giving him an A+. He's been 2 straight weeks now. He's been the top-rated linebacker in the entire NFL. 2 straight weeks. He's so far, and like LJ said it perfectly. Considering when we signed Zach Bond, he was one of the signings that like happens, and social media goes like, "Oh, look, we added somebody."
Yeah.
It wasn't like, "Oh, breaking news, we signed Zach Bond." It was like, "Oh, okay, looks like Eagles got a practice squad guy." That's basically how it felt when we signed him. I remember because we cover everything obviously on the YouTube channel, and looking at what he's been now. I mean, our linebacking core has been top 10 in the NFL because of Zach Bond.
He's on pace for 170 tackles,
insane,
4.5 sacks, 111 solo tackles. Dude, you could make the argument that he could be one of the conversations for one of the All-Pro spots, not just a Pro Bowl spot.
I agree. Right. If he keeps it up, now look, you got to do it against good teams and stuff like that. But he's been really impressive.
But I want to tell you something. I learned something from Vic Fangio today about evaluating players. Vic said something exceptionally smart, and I didn't realize it until he said it. He went like this. He goes, "How I look at linebackers is this: if you're not good on special teams, the chances of you being a really good position player at the position of linebacker is minimal. Most of the great linebacker guys who came into a football team and turned out to be really good linebackers turned out to be the fact that they started on special teams. Sam Mills, some of the younger players that he's had, they dropped Roquan Smith in Chicago when he was up there in special teams, and then obviously he translated into going into being a starter. He goes, but if you're not a very good player," and he goes, "that's what I look at on film." He goes, "Do you know when you see a guy?" He goes, "Well, I look at a lot of special teams linebackers that are out there in the league. And what I do is I look at it and I go to Howie and I go, see this guy here? This guy's got potential on being a potential linebacker that could be somebody that you might want to take a look at and being a special teams guy." I thought that was some insight that I had not heard, that's how he evaluates, because that's his forte, dude. He's not a DB coach. He's not a D-line coach. His forte is linebackers.
Yeah, it's actually really good insight. I mean, it clearly shows you that if you're good at special teams, those kind of characteristics lead you to be a good linebacker. And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, you got to get guys in open space. It's a high speed environment. You know, being good at special teams in a way is an art. You know, it's not easy to do. It's not for every player. So I kind of love that.
It's high speed. It's high speed tackling.
Yeah, high speed tackling for sure. So, you know, the game might almost feel slow to you.
And open field tack. Hey, that's a great comment by you. You're right, because you know why? The game is, dude, you got a 50-yard head start going down the field, and you got to make high volume open field tackles like that. That's pretty insane. And what are you looking at? Do you think there's more trades? I don't
know. Big Marsh says Eagles released the tight end. Yeah, they released Albert O. Trade move coming. He says Big Marsh. Deadline's gone, so they didn't make a trade. What I mean, you think a signing is coming? I don't.
No way. Now, could they have put a trade in? And the trading deadline, just because the trading deadline's over, you know, some of this stuff has to go to league office, but I doubt it, or it had been announced, because you know what agents like.
I mean, Ian Rappaport, who literally is the mouthpiece for the NFL, he works for the NFL. I mean, he's really good at what he does. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he would have it, and he tweeted out, you know, if I haven't heard it yet, it's not happening.
Right, and I agree with him.
There's nothing left. I don't think they're making any sort of move.
Absolutely here. Okay. I guarantee you they tried to trade.
I was thinking of doing this tonight on the channel, an election stream, but I didn't want to create a Thunderdome in the chat where people be bashing heads with pitchforks and hand grenades and all sorts of bullshit. So I'm
looking to enjoy my night tonight. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I knew you weren't going to do it. I mean.
Oh, what do you mean you knew I wasn't? You think this guy gave me shit for complaining about going 15 over in the post game?
I mean, he did. You guys heard him. I need a beer. I'm like, dude, we're having great content after a big win. Sit down and shut up.
Okay, hey, this guy sounds like the Sixers trying to muzzle.
By the way, that was our most viewed segment of the week.
What's that?
Very much. That was our most viewed segment of the week. Thank you very much.
I needed a Corona. All right, let's go.
You started crying about it like a little girl.
Let's go over to the offense. Midterm grades.
Jalen Hurts, A+. No,
I'm not going there yet. Right tackle, Lane Johnson. I gave him an A.
Yeah, definitely an A. I would maybe argue A+. I think he's the catalyst of the entire offense.
Right guard, Becton and Steen. I gave him a C+.
Becton and Steen, C+. Yeah, C+.
I gave Cam Jurgens.
You watch Mekhi Becton in the running game. That dude moves bodies.
I know.
That dude is he is a freight train.
Hey.
Look at Elizabeth telling me, "Oh, we're here for sports, not politics." All right, everybody.
Believe me, trust
you know what? I'll do what I want with this platform.
Hey, Elizabeth, really?
I said earlier, I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and not, you know, be afraid to talk about something because people are going to cry about it. If I want to talk, I'm going to talk.
Hey, don't make my life more miserable.
You can't silence Big Z.
Hey, please don't make my life more miserable. Thank you. Right. Hey, Cam Jurgens, I gave him a B.
He's taking a lot of penalties, but I like B. B's good. I'm good with the big
rushing.
Well, he's filling big shoes, man. He's filling big shoes.
Xander, you're second in rushing.
I know. That's pretty incredible. That's pretty incredible. No, I'm comfortable. I like a B. I like a B for Jurgens.
How about this though? Do you think that he is one of the issues on why the tush push isn't working?
I mean, anytime you lose Jason Kelce, it's got to be partly a factor, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not to say it hasn't worked. I mean, they've been successful with it. It does look like it's not quite as good, though, right? I mean, even in the eye test, when they get it, you're like, ooh,
when you got Sirianni throwing flare passes, because the thing got stuffed twice.
I went down that route again, by the way, on Birds 365. Not everybody was happy with me, but I needed to talk to John a little bit more about it. Again,
John ain't budging off that thing.
We again vehemently disagreed. He actually threw out at me, "Don't be a silio." That's exactly what.
Oh no, John! Oh Oh my God!
He said, don't go down the Sileo route. I said, what the
Don't be a Sileo. Oh
my
my God, that's fabulous! I love that. Way to go!
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Pretty funny.
It is. Landon Dickerson. I gave him a B.
I'm going B+. I don't think he's been. I mean, why B?
Because I think he's been really great this year.
So why not higher?
I tell you, because you passing grades out like,
dude, they're the sixth ranked offense in the league.
I think he's done a great. Oh, because I didn't give an A, because no, I gave him a B. I think he's had a really good year this year.
So is only the number one offense in the league can get an A? Is that if that's your grading scale? I'm actually asking. I think that's fine.
I've seen him get beat a couple times, and I've seen the quarterback get hit, and I've seen him give up some sacks.
I haven't seen him get
quarterback got hit 3 times in sacks this past game.
Okay, you putting that on Landon?
No, one of them was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, has he given up a sack this year?
Couples, yeah.
Polska said, "Are we going to give gold stars as well?"
Seriously, man, this guy wants to give out like participation medals too. Also, I see.
Yo, rock steady. Thanks, dude. He says he loves the pre and post game show. That's great, man. Love it. Thanks, brother.
Only when I have to fucking filibuster to get my takes in because John.
Oh my God, you hear this guy crying, everybody?
His mouth won't stop, and everybody's.
You guys see what I have to deal with? Not only do I have to deal with his takes on the Eagles.
John's right and everyone's wrong. So shit.
He's got a filibuster.
You have now McMullenized.
No, I haven't. Believe me, me and McMullen are on opposite ends. Look, even Michael J. He said it. Xander and J-Mac need couples therapy. Yeah, we have not seen eye to eye in about 2 weeks. Not at all. Maybe even longer. Maybe like 3 weeks now in Birds 365, where Johnny Mac and I are like oil and water when it comes to agreeing on topics.
That traditionally makes a good show.
Yeah, well, I agree. I mean, you don't want to get into a piss match all the time, but I do try and create conversation with them. But I just don't understand, like. Apparently now it doesn't matter at all if you want to make it a 3-possession game with a point after. That shouldn't even be thought about in the conversation or in the decision.
Hey, I can't read and I'm not good at math, but even I know 3 possession.
I mean, are you kidding me? Like, what am I hearing?
It's
one of those. What's the word for that? Gaslighting, right? Where they make you feel, they make you sound like you're insane, and you're just like, what?
Just got to remember, everyone's right. I mean, John's right and everyone's wrong. So here we go.
That's what makes John good. Just like you come here and you tell people passionately your takes, John thinks you're an absolute idiot if you're not in agreement with him. And look, that creates
this close to having him get up like.
I know. And you laid off, man. You laid off.
Well, because
I texted you after. I said,
because I'm a professional. That's what I do. I'm a pro here. That's what we do here. I keep my head, only when I have to fucking filibuster to get my shit taken.
Wait, what did I text you after the show? I texted you something.
You did. You know what he texted me? Why'd you apologize? I'll tell you why I apologize.
You backed down.
Not back. I didn't take one takedown, but what I didn't want to do was I took some low blows and some low shots. When I said I called him an idiot,
super low. I think look, John does give off whether I love John, so don't get me wrong. I actually think that the way John does content,
I didn't want him to leave either.
It's an art form, though. I mean, like you always say, never, right? John's never is his commitment to his take and it being so right. So I don't have an issue with it, but he does give off an arrogant sense that
holier than thou is what I call it.
I think he would maybe even admit that if you got him in the right moment.
He'd have to be drunk to admit that.
He probably would. But hey, I love Johnny Mac, man.
Yeah. Hey, what's his name? Dirty Air. If I text your mom, she must be smoking. All right, here we go.
Somebody asked me this morning what it's like texting you, and I'm like, he's not very good at texting
or posting tweets.
No, he's not very good on the digital front. You think he would learn? 4.5 years he's done a show now online.
Lost 6 jobs doing it, so you think I'd learn, but I don't.
I know.
Hey, here's one of my favorites. Why? It's all you'll see sometimes when I put a stupid tweet up. Xander, there'll be 4 a.m. for me. Xander will go like this.
I haven't done that in a while.
You haven't. Because you know why? He's now getting a taste of it on being What most of the time he was on this end of it. Now he's on this end of the mic, and now he knows how hard it is to try to get shit going. So now guess what he's doing? He's now in the Big Sills world.
Well, we're also in a little bit of a different realm right now, as a whole, as a company, which I think is a good thing because it's really, I mean, the people, this is why I love the people. And the people, I think they realize this, but I don't know if they know how important they really are because
they are.
They have totally returned power in a way to the people where we don't have as many external sponsors and, the Eagles in our ear about everything and all this, big media stuff that happens right now where, the people really have made JAKIB become almost self-sustaining, and it's been very powerful.
Listen to that.
Yeah.
You hear that, what he's saying here? By the way, all super chats, I promise, will be read at the end. Please hit the like button. But here, just how I started the program out today, I talked to people around the Marcus Hayes story, and Marcus Hayes is now not being allowed to go on any shows because we asked him to come on our show, and he's not allowed to because the Inquirer doesn't want him. Okay, we got to read that one down there, bro.
I think EVP is another.
No, wait, what is that? Yeah, I think that's. Hey, get this. Wait a minute. I want to finish this here. And
okay.
So the Sixers have gone around telling media outlets like WIP and 97.5, they've gone around telling them not to cover the Marcus Hayes incident with Joel Embiid attacking him in the locker. And that is a fact in a true statement. And so can you imagine that they go around? So if the Sixers do it, the Eagles do it. What's happened in Philadelphia sports, there's very few people that do their job anymore the right way. And this is why Angelo said that guys like me and him are a dying breed because we speak our mind. And to me, that's a massive story. You've got a cover-up going on in Philadelphia for a guy, no matter what the article is. And for the record, I'm not defending the article. I'm defending the action by I'm going after Joel Embiid's reaction. Dude, so what? You make
His reaction is ridiculous.
You make $55 million. What do you care what a guy writes about you? For you to sit there and smack him around in a locker room and then have the Sixers to turn around and tell the people that were in the room not to report on it. Who the hell do you think you are? I would have took the biggest shit on them. And you know what I would have been? I would have been fired the next day because you know why? The Sixers would have called my bosses. My bosses would have took a knee like they always had in the past. Xander, I'm going to tell you something. The only reason, and one of the major reasons, is that I love you and your dad. But the one thing is, you're not taking knees. I can't tell you how many companies have taken knees and then lied about something that wasn't true at all on how I got fired. It was because I wasn't fired over that monkey comment. I was fired because the Bucks called them and told them either he goes or we go. That was a fact.
We don't take knees at JAKIB, brother. We stand behind.
Fired for that because I get this. They put a press release out. Hey, Dan, sorry about the words he used. We're sorry. The next day, the Bucks called and said that's not good enough.
I remember. I remember how it unfolded. I mean, but
hey, I've got all the press releases.
Listen, fuck them. We all we need, Big Sills. Let's go.
Here we go.
To the moon, baby. That's the goal.
Fred Johnson, I gave him a C.
All right, I'm fine with that. Good guy's giving up a lot of pressures. I mean, the guy is
look who he's taking over for.
The guy is a pressure machine.
Dude. Look who he's taking over for. Hey, by the way, so hey, look at this. He's taking on Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's taking on Brian Burns. I mean, dude, he's taking the premier guys on every weekend.
All right, I'll give you that. I'm good with this. What'd you say, C?
Yeah.
I like it. Not a negative, but not a value add, I guess.
I gave Goddard and Cal Caterra's combo. Gave him a C+.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, Goddard had that one sick game. I think he had like 170 yards.
New Orleans.
Is that the game?
New Orleans or Atlanta?
AJ was out the game that he did that. It might have been New Orleans.
Yeah,
I think it was New Orleans. I know it wasn't Tampa Bay.
No.
No, it wasn't that game. So, yeah, New Orleans sounds right.
Here we get to the meat guys. Hit the like button, guys.
Yeah, you saved all these guys for last.
Here the meat guys. Devontae Smith, I gave him a B+.
Wow, pretty high.
Dude, come on. What more do you want from him?
I mean, let me pull it up so I know I know where we are. I mean, the eye test would tell me I think he's been a little bit under that. But
Really?
I mean, we're not, what are we, not 8 games through?
8 games through.
Right now he's got 473. He's got 4 touchdowns. He got 35 receptions. I mean, he's on pace for 70 to 75 receptions and
1,000 yards.
And just 1,000. I mean, right around the 1,000-yard mark. I mean,
he's going to have a better year than AJ.
Well, AJ's missed a lot of games. Smitty missed what?
Sorry.
1? No, that's in the
evaluation.
Yes,
absolutely.
For sure. Devontae only missed 1 game. I think B+ is generous. I'm going to give him a B.
One of my great prognostication, Big Sill's bold prediction was that Devontae Smith would have a better year than AJ.
Yes, it was.
Okay? That was another one. How you doing?
He'll be lucky to do that because Jalen loves AJ.
I know. Don't worry. They'll go back to being predictable.
I mean, they're right on. They're close with the stats right now.
Yeah, they're right on predictability. AJ Brown. I gave that dude a B.
I was waiting for it. That's why I gave Smitty a B+, because he wanted to give him a higher grade than.
No.
See, I'm helping our listeners.
I don't give him an A.
I'm helping our listeners learn.
No, wait. The only reason I don't give him an A is because the amount of time he's missed, or I'd give him an A.
No, I'm saying you gave Devontae a better grade than AJ.
I think he's been more available.
But I know, but it feeds into what the Big Sills beast is all about, and I'm alerting the people to the way that Big Sills operates.
See, he's not. He's
Devontae Smith hasn't been a B+ this year.
AJ Brown.
I think you believe that.
This guy's played in how many games?
I'm giving AJ a C+. B. I'll give him a B.
He's on pace. Get this, folks. He's on pace for 50 catches, 940 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And you want me to say that he's outplayed in the first half of the season, Devontae Smith? He hasn't.
I'm giving him a B. AJ a B.
Look at this guy, man. Woof. Are you a generous soul? Okay. Saquon Barkley.
I gave him the same grade as you.
No, I didn't. I gave him a B.
I just said a B.
All right, go ahead.
What are you, deaf over there?
Saquon Barkley.
A+. No, not an A+. An A.
Miss sack.
Not
getting the first down.
Twice, 2 times there. Drop pass cost you the game. A.
Strong A.
Strong A, but you can't. I mean, hey man, you don't get 100 on the test, you don't get an A+. That's how it goes in life. So A. I think A is perfect for Saquon.
And by the way, I feel I want to give him an A+, but I can't. That's how great he's played.
I agree with that for sure. I mean, you heard me. I said A+ right away, and then I realized, hey, can't give him an A+.
All right, I'm going to let you go first on this one.
All right, here we go.
Wishbone Hurts. What you got there, kid?
All right.
8 games. Mid-season grade for Wishbone Hurts.
Holy shit, YB.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what it is either. Can somebody convert these
money?
Huh?
I think it's Egyptian money.
Is that what that is? Is that what EGP is?
So.
Egyptian
I think
pound?
So.
Egyptian pound? Is that what it is?
Could be.
Might be Egyptian pound.
Yeah.
Somebody convert that for me, will you? Hurts. Jalen Hurts. I'm gonna go. I think I'm leaning B+, but part of me wants to push to an A because we are.
Oh my God, an A. What do you got? Give me a Timmy.
Well, can I give you my reasoning?
Yeah, please.
He's got almost a 70% completion percentage, which is really high for him. He's got 1,774 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, the 4 picks, and a 102 rating, which is much higher than his his career average. And then you add in the rushing stats, which I don't even have up right now. He has, let me pull them up. I'll pull up the rushing stats too. He has 8 touchdowns rushing as well. So he's got 18 total touchdowns to 7 total turnovers. I mean, he's looking at over 2,000 yards of total offense right now.
Oh, God.
And a 70% completion percentage. I think I got to go A for Jalen.
Oh, my God almighty. He's going.
And he's 6-2.
And
one of the games he lost, he was missing AJ Devontae and Lane.
Okay. So you think that performance right now in the first 8 games, let me show you guys the difference between the first 8 games, what an A effort is versus a B effort, because I gave him a B. An A effort is 4,494, 40 touchdown passes, 68% completion percentage, and a 120 quarterback rating. That's for Lamar Jackson, who's on pace
4,000 yards.
He's on pace for $4,000.
He's on. Here goes Sileo with the on pace. The guy that tells you need to prove it to him
Okay,
is
well,
now
right
giving
now,
you projections based on the next 9
okay,
games.
well, let's do right now. He's got 1,593 in passing yards, 13 touchdowns, 1 pick, 111 quarterback rating, and he's at 66%. Wait a minute. Excuse me. He is at 68% completion percentage. And this guy's a runner. That's an A, my friend. Not this bullshit. It's a B. It's a B. I mean, here. Let's go here and take a look at old
Wait. You're talking too much. All right. Listen to me here.
I'm talking.
Because you're telling me every day, and I believe rightfully so, that the Philadelphia Eagles need to use Jalen and what he's good at, and that's dual threat.
And
now you're going to cherry pick some passing stats.
Now I'm comparing him to a dual threat A guy.
Okay, so what's the total yard comparison?
Okay. Jalen Hurts is on pace for 3,770 passing yards compared to 4,450. Jalen Hurts is on pace for 21 passing touchdowns, and Lamar's on pace for 39 passing touchdowns. And he's a tick above in completion percentage. And they're going to be around the same number when it comes to rushing. One guy's going to throw for 4,500 yards and put one of the most iconic years together. And the other guy's on pace to be, well, a guy. 3,700 passing yards is not elite. So I compared him to the elite guy in the game, which is Lamar. That's A effort, my friend.
Well, that's A+ effort from Lamar.
Okay, that might be so, man.
Lamar I will give. All right, I'm not gonna beg off my Jalen take, but those Lamar stats. Holy, is he gonna get another MVP?
Yeah,
he's got 20 touchdowns to 2 picks right now.
Yeah.
Holy shit! And 2379 in the air.
Yeah.
Now he's got an extra game.
He does, dude. He's stupid good, though, right now. I mean, he's going to have over 5,000 total yards. I mean,
all right, Lamar. Dude. If Lamar's the A+, and Josh Allen is the A.
Yeah.
I think
I gave Jalen a strong B. By the way, last 3 weeks, you could give him the A. But for the first half of the season, I got to give him a B, man. I mean, you got to just look at it.
You got to factor this in. Sam is not wrong. Lamar Jackson's throwing to fucking
nobody.
Penny Flowers or whatever the hell his name is.
Zay Flowers. Right. He ain't throwing to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Okay. Now he knows that guy behind him.
Shit, Chad. Am I going under an A? Am I going under an A? Is it a B+?
You'll be okay with that.
Lamar's fine, but Lamar's lost some shoddy games.
That Cleveland game was stupid.
They should not be 5-3, dude.
Should they have got crushed by the Bucks? The Eagles? Not beat crushed.
Lamar's had 2 games this year with a perfect passer rating. 2 of the last 3 games.
Dude, he's playing better than any time in his career. Any time in his career. By the way, could you make the argument he's the best player in football right now?
I think definitely.
Best player in
I think
football.
definitely.
I mean, dude, his fucking numbers. I've never seen a quarterback like this before. I mean,
Dude,
I
68.2% completions, 2379 in the air, 20 touchdowns to 2 picks, and a 120 rating
yeah,
in what, 9 games?
yeah. And look at look, he's on pace. What he's on pace for? He's on pace for
Look at
30.
Mac. He's pissed I chirped Zay Flowers.
Hey,
Hey, Mac. Hey, Mac. I know
hey,
you're smart, Mac. You might like Zay Flowers. That man is no AJ Brown.
no, he's not. And
Okay.
by the way, what makes it even more insane? Holy shit, Xander. So right now, also, he has 84 carries for 505, and he's averaging 56 yards. He's going to get 4,500. Wait, get this. He's going to have 4,500 passing yards this year, 39 touchdowns in the air, and he's going to have 1,000 yards rushing.
Look at this. Embiid suspended 3 games. Q's normally pretty on. Q is normally pretty on the ball, so I think that's a pretty soft punishment.
I do too. I think they want this to go away. Hey, man.
You can officially put me in the certified list of Joel Embiid haters. I am a Joel Embiid hater.
Folks, I sent an email to
I saw that. I saw you
Adam
posted
Silver,
that up.
and I said, what are you planning on doing?
Dang, we got a new members today, man. YB becomes a member. YB, thanks, man. You got to follow up, YB, with your currency.
I just had Mike McCollum send me an email going like this. It was a press release, and I didn't ask for the press release, and the NBA sent it to me that Joel Embiid's been suspended 3 games.
Yeah.
I last night I went like this. What do you plan on doing about this, Adam? I guarantee you the NBA Players Association, they fight this too. Hey, and by the way, how are the Sixers going to handle this now?
League statement on the matter. We understand Joel was offended by the personal nature of the original version of the reporter's column. Interactions must remain professional on both sides and can never turn physical. Yo, how about the Inquirer they deleted that section from the article. I do not believe that was Marcus Hayes.
No.
That deleted that.
No way. They did.
Dude, they did not stand in their columnist corner at all.
It would not shock me if they fire him.
I have no fucking respect for the people that work higher up at the Inquirer, and I would have no problem telling that right to their face.
Well, you got to remember something.
I've met a lot of these media airheads in this city. Believe me, they're all fucking dumb.
That's right, Yale. That's the editor's job. You're right, Al. Yale, that's the editor. But remember something, folks.
Yeah, but that's bullshit. If you put something out there, you got to stand on it.
That's right. The sports editor has to stand behind their people because they go into those environments. Totally true for them to tell him. I'll tell you, I'll be transparent. Marcus Hayes told me that the Inquirer couldn't have him come on our show because the bosses said no right now.
Look, this is the line of thinking I hate, though. Dan checks in and he says, why the fuck are you backing Marcus Hayes?
I'm not back.
He's an asshole. No, let me answer him. He's an asshole. That's the point, Dan. I don't have to agree with them. It's called freedom of the press, Dan.
Yeah, that's right.
Just because you don't agree with what somebody says is not a valid reason for them to have repercussions.
That's right.
Joel Embiid put it out there into the universe that he is trying to build his legacy for his son. He put it out there.
Nobody, at least me, I'm not defending anything he wrote. I don't care what he wrote. And he shouldn't care what he wrote.
Yeah, your take is more from the athlete where it doesn't matter what
I don't give a fuck what that guy says.
I agree.
But when you put your hands on someone, I told people this. Do you know how many people I want to kill for all the negative and all the lies that they've said about me and posted about me? If my wife told me last night, she goes, I'll tell you what, you'd be a serial killer for all the people that have written shit about you if you went after every one of them who called and did all these lies. I can't do that shit. And Embiid has to be bigger. He's a baby, and that was a child's response. Children act like that.
I agree.
100%. I am not backing the article. I don't care. You've got to fucking rise above that type of shit. You can't lower yourself. Hey, by the way, are you under the impression these media guys like you? I mean, you're out of your mind. And by the way, the Inquirer, remember something, you have to paraphrase things correctly or they'll come after your ass. Remember, Xander?
Yeah, I remember. Don't worry.
Paraphrasing.
Anthony says you can't talk about deep people's dead family members.
Yes,
Anthony,
you can.
Again, you're missing my point.
You're missing it. Yes, you can talk about that.
You absolutely can, number one. But also, number two, it's not about whether I agree with Marcus or not.
Right.
You can't get to a point where this is the response to somebody writing. And by the way, it would have been a real crossing of the line if he brought it up unprompted and Joel had never mentioned it. Joel mentioned this a year or two ago about his family and his legacy.
Why didn't the Sixers,
now he won't play a home opener, though, for the fans.
Why didn't the Sixers just restrict the press credential from Marcus Hayes and not allow him back in there? They do that shit all the time. There's other reporters and columnists that go into that locker room all the time. They knew animosity was between the dude. And then what do? They turn around and tell the other media members, and you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to pivot people against Marcus Hayes in the locker room going, we'll give you accessibility and not him. By the way, I think Marcus has now become even bigger, and now his voice has become even stronger because now, guess what? He's one of the very last few guys that Angelo said yesterday on this program. Angelo told me some more stuff off the air on what the Sixers are trying to do that I'm not at liberty to really say yet until I get a cool okay from Marcus. But you don't know what they're doing. They're going around. And this is why when, what's his name? Howard Exon allegedly sexually abused a woman at a place, and the Phillies covered it up. The Odyssey folks covered it up. No one said anything about it, and that thing just went away. Can you imagine if I had done anything like that at a game? I would have been fired, and I have been fired for dumber shit than doing. I've never been involved in anything like that. And look at the Eagles. The Eagles have ESP in the room, and here's a guy who made lies up about Deshaun Jackson being a gang member, and he's still in there. Boy, the Philadelphia sports media are on the hook with these sports teams. Xander, they do not do their job. They do not do their job anymore. It is not the same market it was 15 years ago where those reporters and the people that covered that team, and I'm not saying John, because I've heard John be critical. So I'm not singling John out with that. And there are Selke, I like him. I think he does a nice job too. And to some aspect, McClain does a decent job too. But some of these other guys, listen to WIP or listen to 97.5. They don't cover anything like this. And by the way, I have not heard one thing about the Joel Embiid attack from both radio stations, and I've been monitoring it for the last 3 days.
Yeah, we know why. They've reached out and they've made it so that they can't talk about it. But, you know, if it were me, if I were the executive at Philadelphia Inquirer, I would protect Marcus Hayes. I would not have told anybody to delete what he wrote, and I would countersue the team and Joel Embiid for putting his hands on Marcus Hayes. That's what I would do.
That's not how.
I don't know what you think of that, but that's what I would do.
Here's how the companies react to that. If you are a team and if you're a radio station, and I'll give it to you why the San Diego Padres had me removed from being. I was even a pre and post game show host for the Padres for 2 years, but when I got to the new station, you know why they removed me from mornings? Because I was being overcritical. And you know what the company said, Odyssey? This is a fact. They were going to move me to Boston. They said this, well, we'll side with you guys and we'll take him off the air because they were selling advertising spots, their advertising department. Ask your dad this, Xander. Those guys are going to side with that because there's more people in the building that are generating money for the company and sacrificing a guy who's on air. They'll sacrifice the guy on air or the columnist because you know why? You have marketing dollars. Those teams, they advertise.
Believe me,
they advertise with the Inquirer. They advertise with the Inquirer, and get this: you don't want to have the Sixers not advertising with the Inquirer, who spend maybe $200,000-$300,000 a year advertising, promoting games, and they're going to pull that and put it to another source. They're going to sacrifice Marcus Hayes for that. They're not going to sit around and back people like that anymore.
They shouldn't fire him. I'll be upset. I'll be very upset if they fire him.
I think there'll be too much pressure too. And by the way, hey, I'll tell you this. Thank God he's an African-American. Okay? Thank God. Because he's a white guy, he'd be fired. Just telling you.
You might not be wrong about
Okay?
that. Look at
Thank
Wendell.
God.
Wendell, are we talking football? Wendell, we just talked football for an hour. We do this for 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes.
At a 4-hour show. Okay? All right.
Gotta love JAKIB Nation, baby.
Okay, so you tell me. I'm going to give you my top 10 quarterbacks.
Wait, did we miss something? Weren't we even about to talk about
Oh,
something?
no, let's do the coordinator. Oh, no, we did the coordinators. We did the head coach. Oh, wait a minute. No, we did Hurts. We did them all.
Okay. All right.
We
cool.
did them all.
All right.
Okay?
All right,
we
cool.
did them all.
Let's keep rolling. What do you got? Top
right.
10 QBs?
Top 10 QBs.
All right. Well, after learning what we just learned about Lamar Jackson, I think it's safe to say he's number one. Are we going 2024 top?
Top 20.
I'm not looking at careers. I'm looking at 2024.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. At number 10, the Big Sills. Top 10 quarterbacks for 2024. At number 10, the man who is now in line to have a great season and one of the toughest players in the league, Justin Herbert at number 10. At number 9, this guy is now the leader of the number 1 team in the NFC West. His name is Kyler Murray. Number 8. What a season this guy's putting together. He's completely transformed this team since he's been added to it. The legendary Kirk Cousins at number 8. Number 7. Probably too low. My man. And he gets his boy back on Monday. Brock Purdy at number 7. At number 6, the man, the myth, the legend. The man from Motown. We just lost Quincy Jones, but now they have a new commander in charge. They have now a new orchestra leader. His name is Jared Goff at number 6. Number 5, the best quarterback in the NFC East. He is, without a doubt, having a spectacular season. Jaden. First place Commanders, Daniels at number 5. Number 4, this guy's having a great year. His football team is not. Joe Burrow, Bengals. Number 3, I think this is blasphemy, but I'm going to do it. Patrick, undefeated 8-0 Kansas City Chiefs, Mahomes at 3. Number 2, the legend, the man who's, I don't know, who's he throwing to? Josh Allen. Number 2. Number 1, I gave you the numbers. He's without a doubt having a spectacular season. Lamar Jackson, number 1. How you doing? So, Herbert, Kyler Murray, 9, Cousins at 8, Purdy at 7, Golf at 6, Daniels at 5, Burrow at 4, Mahomes at 3, Josh Allen, number 2, and Lamar Jackson, number 1.
That's a shit list.
Yeah, really. Okay. Let's see here. This guy's having an iconic season. This other guy is 6-2 by himself. Now, the guy in that Bills huddle could start in Philly. The other guy is 8-0, Mahomes. Joe Burrow's on pace for 44 touchdowns and 6 picks. Jaden Daniels is in first place. By the way, your Eagles are a wild card team as of today, and they would be going in as a wild card team. And you got Jaden Daniels at 7-2. You got Brock Purdy stabilizing a wounded ship that now has the torpedo fixed. Jared Goff is 7-1. And you got Cousins, who's transformed Atlanta. And Kyler Murray's in first place in the West, where you got the Rams, the Niners, and Seattle, and yet there's Cardinals. And you got Justin Herbert, who's sitting there in second place behind the Kansas City Chiefs at 6-3. How you doing? What's stupid about that? They're all having good years too.
Where do you have Purdy?
I got Purdy 7.
All right, that's a little high for me. He's got 7 picks to 10 touchdowns. I know he's got a lot of passing yards, but he's under a 65. I'm not going Purdy in my top 10 right now.
All right.
All right.
Let's see what you got.
I got my top 8. I'm trying to round out my
people. Wait a minute. People are going over to my X account and saying your list sucks. So
Good.
Everyone's going back and forth. This is phenomenal. Thank you, guys. Please, let's hear this list.
Go and rip Sills on X, everybody. At Dan Sileo
No,
Show.
rip me here.
Yeah, right. Rip us both places. You can rip me on X too, at Real Xander. All right, I got my top 8. I'm trying to get these last 2 done, and there's a big toss up, and I'll have the chat help me with those last 2. Ready?
Ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready
for a real quarterback list.
I'm ready.
Unlike that shit, whatever that was. Number 1, Lamar Jackson. I think the stats speak for themselves when it comes to Lamar Jackson right now. 2,099 passing yards already. No, he's got more than that. He had what was it? We pulled
15,
up the numbers.
63 or something like that.
Lamar Jackson playing unreal right now. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the league. And until he is knocked off the throne, I refuse to drop him lower than I'd say 3.
Do you see Kelsey get 14 catches last night too?
Yeah, good. About time. I mean, about time he showed up in the 2024 football
Well, his
season.
chick showed up.
I thought the dude was going to, just
his chick showed up. She was there last night, so he had to look good.
Yeah. Well, she's there every game, isn't she?
No, not every game. The games that, she had like a 3-game bye, and that's when he was not playing well.
It was pretty funny. I think she was in the same box as
Mahomes' mom.
Mahomes' mom. She's Miss Kamala. Mahomes' mom went Miss Trump last night. I'm like, they got some drama in the box.
Yeah.
Pretty funny stuff. Number 3, Josh Allen. Number 4, Jared Goff. The guy has thrown like 3 incompletions a game in the last 6 weeks. He's on an absolute tear, and they continue to destroy teams. Number 5, Joe Burrow. I do think you're right. Doesn't have a great team, but he is playing lights out football. Number 6, the greatness. The greatness of Jalen Hurts.
My God
baby.
almighty,
Comes in, edging out. Number 7, Jaden Daniels. I need to see more from Jaden before I put him above my man.
Oh, you're going to. You're going to.
Okay, good. Let's see it. Who do I sound like? I'm a prove it guy.
Yeah.
I'm a prove it guy.
3,600 yards he's on pace for. Go ahead. He's a
shit what he's on pace for.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about the stats.
Yeah. First 8 games, that guy's played B football at best.
Number 7, Jaden Daniels. Number 8, CJ Stroud. And then 9 and 10, I have an open competition between a couple different guys. You can look at Jordan Love. You could look at Matthew Stafford. You could look at Sam Darnold. You could look at Baker Mayfield, by the way, who's really playing good football.
I thought he played good last night.
Even without his top 2 targets.
They should have went for 2 last night.
I know.
What a mistake that was. Very conservative.
You could go Purdy. You could go Cousins. You could go Geno Smith. You could go Herbert or Murray. I mean, it's really a toss-up on those last two. So, chat, I'm going to have you help me. I got 9 and 10 left. Is it Stafford? Is it Baker? Is it Kyler? Is it Herbert? Is it Jordan Love?
It's Purdy.
Really?
It's Purdy. Purdy cannot be out of your top 10.
I think I'm with Harold and Sam. I might have a bias for Baker. I just like Baker Mayfield. I don't know why. I just think he's like I just like the guy. I think he's a cool ass dude. I'd want to play for him.
Oh,
Baker. I like Baker. I'm maybe I have a little.
Well, you
bias
like shit talkers. That's why I'm here.
I do exactly. That's exactly what it is. I come from a family of shit talkers, and I like a good shit talker.
Yeah.
I like a good shit talker.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's it.
Any list with Hurts in the top 10 is a dog shit list. Oh my God. all super chats will be read, I promise you, man.
Are you kidding me?
Any fucking list.
Number 6, baby.
6. That means he's a dude out from being a top 5 performer in the first half at quarterback. Dude, seriously, man, you're hitting a vape pipe too much. That's ridiculous, man. Or you're smoking those mountain oysters that you eat out of a jar every time I see it. Those ball nuts or whatever sunflower seeds. You're high on it, dude. Something wrong with you.
All right, let me round out my list. Is it Purdy? Everybody, a lot of people are saying Purdy. Stafford and Baker, I like that.
How is it not Murray?
Stafford and Herbert. Yeah, Murray's playing good. I might have a bias against Murray.
You do? Hey, by the way, I thought he was a child too. How about Jonathan Gannon? Jonathan Gannon's on my list of the top 10 coaches in the first half for Coach of the Year.
How did Kyler play this weekend?
They won.
Did he play good? Because he's a big Call of Duty guy. I think the new Call of Duty came out. Yeah, he had a 50. No, that wasn't this week. All right, he was okay. He had no touchdowns, no picks, 88 rating, 65% completion, and 154 passing yards. Yeah, dude was tired. He was ripping Call of Duty all night.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did he win?
Oh, yeah. When I say that about Jalen Hurts, you say, he's on pace for 3,600 yards.
Well, you better have that with all that weaponry you have there. I mean, it's like the United States military fighting the Iraqi Republican Guard. Are you crazy, man? I mean, seriously, Jalen Hurts' offense is like the United States military going against the Baghdad Republican Guard. And I'm sitting here going like this. Hang on here for a minute. Okay? Who has the most weaponry? That's the Eagles, man.
All right, I'm going Baker at 9.
I don't have a problem with that.
I'm going Baker at 9. And I'll go Purdy at 10. Fuck Kyler Murray.
Any fucking list with that guy on it, man. He's top 6 is a dog shit list. Holy cow, man. You really think Jalen has been the 6th best quarterback in the first 8 games of the year? Oh my God.
And you frame it like that, I don't know.
Well, that's what this is.
No, I do. Ryan, your list sucks, Ryan. Fucking Ryan. Dude checks in like once a show with a shit comment. Ryan, maybe get some better comments, dude.
Hey, before we get to the super chats, here's my MVP list because I have a vote for NFL honors. Here's my top 10. I got Kirk Cousins, number 10. I got Kyler Murray, 9. I got Jaden Daniels, 8. I got Joe Burrow, 7. I got Saquon Barkley, 6. I got Jared Goff, 5. I've got Derrick Henry, 4. I got Mahomes, 3. I got Allen, 2. And I got Lamar, 1.
That's MVP?
MVP.
Yeah, I'm perfectly good with that list. I like yours.
I got to put Barkley and Henry in that top 10. I'm not going to make it just a quarterback.
Yeah.
Those two dudes have been. Hey, honestly, if you think,
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think Barkley's in the MVP running at all.
I don't think Henry is either. I just think that it's a award for now quarterbacks. But if I had to choose, if you took the quarterbacks out of the conversation, who are the best players in the NFL this year? Don't you think it's been Barkley and Henry? Maybe the guy in Minnesota, he's having a pretty good year.
You're right. You might be right.
Think about that.
I think that's a good exercise. If you took out the quarterbacks, who are the best players in the NFL right now?
Barkley and Henry. I mean, what other wide receiver is having a spectacular year like that? The kid Jefferson? Maybe the guy in Minnesota? I mean, but who would you put in there that you would go like this? Okay. Don't mention the quarterback.
They're not going to be MVPs.
Don't mention. They're not. It's a quarterback award. But the last guy to win it was Adrian Peterson years and years ago. You're not going to see anybody unless
I love Adrian Peterson.
If Derrick Henry goes over 2105, he might.
Wait, I had two non-Eagles jerseys when I was a kid. Actually, I had 3, but I'm not going to tell them. I'm not going to say the third one. I'll say the 2. Keep everybody wondering. All right. You want to guess the two of them? They're both running backs, I'll tell you that.
Adrian Peterson.
Yep, purple Adrian Peterson Vikings.
And a guy like Xander, who would he have? And so I have to think around that time. I'm going to say, I don't believe he would have an Emmitt Smith being an Eagle fan.
Not an Emmitt Smith.
Terrell Davis.
No, I had LaDainian Tomlinson.
Ooh.
In the bright blue.
Oh my God, I love that. Dude, I love that.
I still have that thing in my closet.
Dude, I love that jersey. I've always told the Chargers, man. I love that 1960s Chargers. I told you how the Charger name was founded, right?
Dude, LaDainian Tomlinson was an absolute baller.
Hey, I told you how the Charger name was founded, did I? Did I ever tell you?
You didn't tell me that.
Okay, get this. So Baron Hilton, you know the girl Hilton? Her grandfather owned the team initially when he bought the team. And guess what he did? He was the first guy with the charge card for his hotels around the country, the Hilton hotels. So he named his team the Chargers off the charge card. Baron Hilton owned the Chargers at first.
Wow, that's cool.
And so he named them after his charge card. It was the Hilton charge card, so they called them the Chargers.
Wow, that's interesting right there.
Yeah,
that's a little tidbit.
Yeah, that's how they got the name.
Daniel Tomlinson was a legend, and I loved him. And
I can't think of another TCU guy. How he tried to make a guy.
He was so early. Honestly, I'm not even going to lie to you. I didn't even know what college he was.
Yeah, he went to TCU.
I was born in '98, and that's when I think he got in the league around that time. No, he got in the league 01. Yeah, I mean, his best season was 2006 and 2007. And honestly, I think I was might have been an 8, 9, 10-year-old kid wearing my LT shirt to recess at school or whatever you want to call it. My bright blue.
I'll do one more with you. I wasn't gonna, but I'll do one more with you. Then we'll do the super chats here. Right, here's my top 10 NFL teams. Ready?
I was born ready.
Number 10. I got the Houston Texans here at number 10. Okay. Number 9. I've got the Atlanta Falcons at number 9. It was between them and the Packers, but I had them at 9.
Wait, who'd you have 9?
The Falcons.
Okay. That's a little high for me on them. I'm not going to lie.
Number 8, I got the Vikings.
Okay, I like that.
At number 7, I've got the Philadelphia Eagles. And mind you, they weren't on my top 10 last week. Number 6, I got the Steelers. Number 5, the Washington Marcus Latimer Commanders.
Dude, fuck the Commanders.
Number 4, I've got the Baltimore Ravens. Number 3, the Buffalo Bills.
All right, we're going to have the same top 4.
Number 2, the Lions. And number 1, till you knock the champs off, I got the Chiefs. So I got 10 Texans, 9 Falcons, 8 Vikings, 7 Eagles, 6 Steelers, 5 Commandos, 4 Ravens, 3 Bills, 2 Lions, 1 Chiefs.
I'm going 1 Chiefs, 2 Lions, 3 Bills, 4 Ravens. So we have the same top 4. Then I'm going Eagles. No, I'm going Eagles 5. I'm going Vikings 6. I'm going Commanders 7, Texans 8, Steelers 9, and Packers 10.
So you have the Eagles at the 5th best team in the league, and you got the quarterback, the 6th best quarterback in the league, having beaten one team with a winning record all year. Hey, this is...
Yo, Sills.
Yo, help me.
Your takes don't scare me, bro.
Wait a minute. Your logic is buffoonery.
Okay, I'll talk to you at the end of January.
Hey, no, I'll talk to you at the end of a Commando game.
All right.
We're
going to beat them 2 times in a row.
Let's get these super chats.
We will beat the Commanders twice this year.
Oh, so
maybe 3 times if they want to try and try us in the playoffs.
You're going to sweep the NFC East.
Who'd Washington beat? Thank you, Sam. Who'd Washington beat this year? You keep telling me the Eagles beat Stiffs. Who the hell is Washington beat?
No one. Right. Who you beat?
No one. That's the point.
Okay. Well, then I'll go with the team with the better record. How you doing? And the better quarterback. And the better head coach.
They don't have a better record. They played 1 more game than us.
That's a better record. and their coach is a better head coach.
Can't win with Sills. It's
Wait a minute.
Unbelievable.
Who's a better head coach? One guy's got a better resume than the other guy.
Oh, Dan Quinn?
Sorry,
I'm not a Dan Quinn truther.
Really? So Dan Quinn is taking a team to a Super Bowl himself like your Stiff did. And also, he's got a Super Bowl ring as a coordinator who your coordinator on defense doesn't own one. Oh, I'll get one.
Give me the birds. Give me the birds.
Let me tell you this, man. That's how you could always go back to it.
Give me the birds. Trying to tell me
way,
Dan Quinn's this and that.
Quick,
Fuck Dan Quinn.
Real quick before we get to the super chats here. Hey, I know many of you reached out to me and asked me about the Big Sales merch, but well, hey, he's too busy sponsoring like Philly 500 and them guys. We'll get to it, and then, by the way, on the post game show, remember Big Sills has to filibuster to get his ass on it.
You guys see how petty this man is?
I'm not petty. Well, maybe a little.
Yeah, you're majorly fucking petty, is what you are.
Petty. I'll tell you what, with a guy with a list where a quarterback is 6th and he's a Stiff, and you got the Eagles 5th.
Look, Sileo tried to bully me into agreeing with him that our team sucks. Meanwhile, we're a top team in the league. We're playing unreal football right now. Nobody can beat us. Jalen Hurts is back to MVP elite form. We look like 22 again. Nick Sirianni's got everybody calling for his job. I mean, things are right in the city of brotherly love. Sills?
Yeah, your head coach is a Stiff.
Oh, Joe, thank you for reminding me. Dan Quinn's the 28-3 guy. Fucking Stiff.
Yeah. He has a Super Bowl ring, and he's taking a team to a Super Bowl. And what Nick did was cry about the field. 1 drop away. There you go, LJ. Back to being the dick you are.
We didn't lose that game because of Nick Sirianni. I mean, if we're being real, we maybe lost it because of Jalen with that fumble. You can't have a 10-point swing to the freaking Kansas City Chiefs in one play. You just can't.
And well, you had one guy who was house hunting.
No, I wouldn't say he was house hunting in that game. Nobody got home in that game. Oh,
Jonathan Gannon.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
no.
Reddick, and he was just going for sacks.
Jonathan Gannon was house hunting for the Arizona job.
Yeah, you're right. He was.
He was house hunting. I blame him and his ass for that.
Stiff.
Fucking.
Remember what he did after the NFC title game or in that time frame? He's like, I'm not leaving Philly. And then he's like in his G-Wagon driving through the city. We're going to gut these guys. He's trying to get on everybody's good side. And then he just rolled out.
His G-Wagon. Let's get to the super chats there, kid, with that fucking god-awful list of yours. Go ahead, man.
That was the best list. Everybody, you won't find a better quarterback team list anywhere in the football media world.
Oh, my God, please. The sick
Xander has a Tony Romo jersey. No, I do not. YB. Love you, YB. Thank you for the support today, man. It's really hard to read your currency, but I'm just going with the supers. Thank you, bro. How were Eagles not in your top 10 last week and moved up a few spots after you shit on them the last few days?
Because I took the entire work of a body of work for 8 games and I put it together for the first half instead of the last 3 cherry-picked weeks that Xander loves to go in and cherry-pick. That
Trends, everybody.
Since the bye week.
Trends. Big Sills loves to tell you about trends.
Try beat the Falcons and
until
the
they
Bucs.
work against his takes, and then he tells you trends don't matter.
Win versus a team with a winning record.
Dakota Prescott checks in. Xander, you forgot me. How dare you? You're not playing top 10 right now, Mr. Prescott. Jarrell Ray. What's up, Jarrell? I don't know what is worse, Big Sills or Dan Orlovsky. This shit is despicable.
Come on, Jarrell. I'm a man of truth, justice, and the Big Sills way. That's what we do here. You know that guy has not played a football in the first 8 weeks. Come on, man. Beat a team that's good.
Look at this guy. Sills is an asshole, but he's our asshole.
That's a shirt.
That's a shirt. Oh, good. Another one. Rashid Mixon. Was L. Jack considered elite last year? Can you check the stats for me? Thanks. Let's look. I'll check the stats for you. You dropped us $5. I'll look at his stats for you.
And 14-3 and home field advantage. And get this. Hey, Rashid, he had wide receivers with no 1,000 yards, no 1,000-yard back, and they went 14-3. The tight end was lost in week 10.
I see what he's saying, though. They were 13-3. Well, he played 16 games. So did he sit out the last game or did he get injured?
He got sat out the last game.
So he had 3678 passing yards last year, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, a 67.2 completion percentage. And then he had rushing. He had 821 yards and 5 touchdowns on 148 attempts.
And 14-3 in home field advantage in the AFC. He won home field.
But to Rashid's point, he had a Jalen Hurts season last year.
What were his turnovers?
He had 7 picks, which is pretty good. That's Jalen. Well, he had 7 picks in 22, Jalen. I think he had less than that, actually. 7 picks. And did he have any fumbles? Let me look. Give me a second.
Probably did because he carries the ball so much. We'll get to you,
Philly. He's pretty sturdy with the ball. I got to give him. He had 11 fumbles.
But Xander, he had no one to play with. There wasn't a 1,000-yard receiver on the team and a 1,000-yard rusher. It was all him. There was no Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown on that team. There's nothing.
So he had 11 fumbles. I don't know how many he lost of them, but Rashid, great super chat.
Rashid, 14-3, home field advantage. He was the only dude on that Ravens team a year ago.
Look who just checked in. Philly 500. You just caught some stray bullets from Big
Philly,
Sills.
this guy loves your shit, man. He's getting your merchandise, buying it all up, wearing it. He wore it the other day.
Yo, Philly, I got a question for you, Philly. Where's Jalen Hurts right now in your top quarterback list in the NFL? Where is he, Philly? Let me know in the chat. If it takes you a second, that's all right.
He's not in mine. Anybody who puts that guy in a top 10
you had him in yours. You didn't have him in your top 10.
Is a stiff. Top 10 quarterbacks? He's not in that list. What are you, crazy? I wouldn't put a guy like that.
Yes, Philly 500. He does need a Philly 500 shirt. I wore mine on the show on Friday, Philly. It looked dope. It looked so dope that Sileo has been crying about it for 3 weeks.
Not crying.
3 days.
Not crying. Just
Philly says he thinks he's top 10.
Shit.
I agree.
You think the first 8 weeks of the NFL season he's played top 10 quarterback? Good night, almighty. Who in their right mind would think that anybody?
We got a lot of super chats today we got to get through. I didn't realize.
Please, let's get to them. I'm about to throw up.
Philly drop them. What's up, guys? Mark Holmes finally lost it. Total breakdown. He needs to be slapped. Needs to act like a man.
Come on.
Yeah, Mark Holmes was texting me some fuddy-duddy stuff. I think he's flaking on the show tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I think so. But hey, I think they have an obligation tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
But
no,
that,
I'm not picking on him. I think he wanted me to tell you to move it to Thursday, and I said that's going to have to be something that you bring up with Sills because I don't program Sills' show for him.
maybe we will do that. Maybe hey, Philly, if you're okay with that, maybe we will. What do you think, Xander? Move it to Thursday.
Whatever you want. I mean, yeah, like I said, your show, and it's
Yeah,
up to
because
the
hey, I got Tony Casillas coming on talking Cowboys tomorrow. He does a show for the
Oh, good, the
Cowboys.
shitty Cowboys. You ask him where their
You
power
are
ranked.
playing them this week, dude.
Ask him where their power ranked. 28th.
Look at this guy. I'm going to put a Cowboy guy on because you're playing the Cowboys. Gee.
I'm not chirping your guest. I'm chirping the shitty Cowboys. God, you're emotional today.
No.
Taking everything personal.
Excuse me. Who do you think okay, my aunt's watching. I can't say one person. Go, please. Let's get through the super chats before I throw up.
So many. We might be here till 6.
Come on, dog.
Holy shnikes. Anthony Wilson, you lose credibility when you keep refusing to put Hurts in your top 10, Sills, because he's a dual threat. He's playing better than Herbert and Purdy. Agreed, Anthony.
Holy shit, man. You do not get it. He has not played top 10 football in the last fucking 8 weeks. End of story. You cherry peck versus stiff teams. Holy
Dak Prescott, where am I? You're at like 20, my dude. You got to step it up. Always Sunny says, Ruben Frank, another good Philly media guy. You like who you like. Q-Ball says, Embiid suspended 3 games. We saw that one.
Good.
Polska Trucker. Xander needs to be put in a straitjacket for that comment about Jalen Hurts. Oh, Polska, did I hurt your feelings, Polska? Come on, Polska.
Oh, man.
Polska, I give you the truth. Truth, justice, and the big Z way. YB becomes a member. Thank you, YB. Appreciate that. Ricky comes a member. Look at that. Appreciate both you guys becoming a member. That means a lot. Big support for the channel, so thank you both. Des the Hebrew. Wishbone means you have to add the rushing. Yes, you do, Des.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll win at Super Bowl because of it, too.
YB checks in with 500 Egyptian pounds is how I'm reading that. I don't know if I'm right, but that's what I'm looking at. Biggest issue I have with Jags game is the pass rush. Jags played the equivalent of 2 p.m. strippers and O-line and no pressure all night. Also, Elliott never kicking field goals is cooling him off, might come back to haunt us. Sills is on point with his takes, but we'll be fine. It's a good super.
Absolutely. It's a spectacular super because somebody with some common sense has finally spoken. Who have been the last 4 games that we've played? Who have been the last 4? The Browns? Oh, yeah, no, I forgot that shitty record. Hold on for a second here. I forgot the shitty Browns. So get this. Here's what Xander's saying. So since the bye week, the Philadelphia Eagle opponent record is 10-26. And this guy's trying to tell me that Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback versus teams that have a combined record of 10 wins and 26 losses. How you doing?
We keep winning and Sills keeps crying, baby.
10-26.
All is right in the world when we keep winning and Sills keeps crying, baby.
No, I'm just going to have to remind everyone.
What did Playmaker say again, Devontae? What did Playmaker say?
10-1. All I heard last year was that bullshit. And you know what I heard at the end? Oh, my God. Sileo is white.
Let's keep rolling.
Please.
Sad. Most divisive era for U.S. politics since the Civil War. What's going on in the election? I've been on here for like 2 hours. I don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah.
We're not going to go down that road, though, right?
Nah, not interested.
I hear you, though, Jalen. YB says, appreciate you, YB, by the way. You got a couple super chats in here. You became a member today. Thank you, man. Are you new to the channel? I'd be curious to hear if you're new to the channel. We appreciate you being here. People say Nick is going to cost us in the chip game versus the Lions. I'd argue that Lions are too good. We have no chance unless Nick takes all these crazy gambles, a la Dougie P in the Super Bowl. Gambles will have to pay off. This guy's smart. He's a good take.
Keep defending that stiff head coach of yours. I wouldn't let that guy coach a lingerie league team. I wouldn't let that guy coach chicks in thongs running around with footballs in their hand.
Look at Philly 500. Wait, Philly, right before I came on here, I got the notification on YouTube that he tagged us. I didn't watch it yet because I was on the show. He says, Mark made a video ripping all of us, crying he isn't being paid. LMAO. He lost it. Sills, tell me all the QBs better.
Hold on, Philly. Angelo Cataldi comes on this program, and you, with your kindness, never ask for money. Who's this guy think he is? Paul Dumowitz? I mean, holy shit.
Holy dude, this has been a roast fest.
This
segment today has been a roast fest.
Why would I put a guy on with a football team that fucking blows? Okay, here's the quarterbacks better than Jalen Hurts in the first 8 games. Murray's in first place.
Wrong.
You're a wild card team right now.
Murray better than Hurts? If you started the franchise today, you take Kyler Murray over Jalen Hurts?
I didn't say that. I said who's playing better ball in the first 8 games of the year of 24. One guy's in first place. The other guy's a wild card team. Justin Herbert is in one of the top divisions because the Chiefs are in it.
A perpetual underperformer.
Jim Harbaugh.
A perpetual underperformer.
Cousins, who beat your ass this year, I have it number 8. Golf is 7-1. Best record in the NFC. He's 7th. Brock Purdy, defending NFC champions. And the last time you guys lined up against that Niner team, you was a bitch. The best quarterback in the NFC East, who's leading the East, Jaden Daniels. Joe Burrow right now is having 8 weeks. First 2024, there's not a guy in the building that doesn't think that guy is having a great year this year. Number 3, I don't know, Patrick Mahomes, 8-0, and he's going for a three-peat. Josh Allen, not a guy in Buffalo, Philly, that could start in that offense in the Philadelphia Eagle offensive huddle. Not one. From the O-line to the tight end to the receivers to the running back, except one guy, the quarterback.
All right.
And Lamar, who's on an iconic pace right now for one of the greatest years of all time. How you doing?
Billy, I got Jalen Hurts at 6 right now.
Good night. Holy cow, does that give me odds?
Actually, let me read my list of Philly. Let's see what he thinks of it. Lamar, Mahomes, Allen, Goff, Burrow, Hurts, Daniels, Stroud, Baker, and Purdy.
Hey, Philly, do me a favor when you talk to that dude, Mark Holmes, because I see that he's going down a low angle here. So know this. I understand he's got to lash out, because I'd lash out too if I didn't have anything to talk about anymore, because my team stinks so bad and my quarterback's name is Cooper Rush. I mean, hey, I understand it. If he wants to continue to throw shots at me, I'll say this. Okay, it's all good. My quarterback's not named Cooper Rush. And also Ricky Ricardo in my backfield. This guy's got Ricky Ricardo, and he's got Cooper Rush as his quarterback lining up against the Eagles. The Eagles might put a 40 burger on him.
Yeah, we'll see. Polska Trucker, he's upset with me. He says, Xander, my feelings are not hurt. Just don't Johnny Mac me with these takes. I can see those green-colored glasses on. Oh, you must agree that game situations don't matter at all and just be aggressive for the sake of being aggressive. Who cares what the score is? Who cares who the opponent is? Who cares anything about the game? Just be aggressive.
Hey, Polish Trucker, don't worry about it, man. It's all good, okay? By the way, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Polish Trucker.
Polska, my dad is
Polska, okay.
I think he's got some Polish in him, my dad, which would mean I have some Polish in me. But
great.
We got a great friend
Polish
who loves JAKIB. I think I'm assuming he's Polish with his name, right?
Great. I mean, hey, we're all in the same.
No, region. I'm telling him a story, dude. God, you're so wound tight today.
Oh my God, it's the election.
We get Shev's is a famous Polish kielbasa place in Kibasi place in right around in the city.
Love
And we
kibasi.
get that stuff like every week by the truckloads. My dad loves that stuff, dude. And the guy loves JAKIB so much. He's such a great supporter of ours. Like, he really is. I give him a shout out, John at Chevs. Everybody should check them out.
Hey,
if you're
I'd
in the
love
city.
that.
Yeah, it's like CVE or CZEW or something.
Oh,
It's
man.
incredible
I
stuff. And
love kibasi.
he takes really good care of JAKIB. I'll
Yeah.
just say that. He's a really good
I
dude,
love
man.
that. I
Shout
love
out
that.
to them.
Come on, let's get to the super chats. I want to throw up here with that list of yours.
Oh my God, dude. We I hate to say it, but we have a lot. All right,
Well, I
here we
don't
go.
hate to say that. I like that. Thank you.
No,
guys.
I mean, we're far from finishing. If you're gonna cry, if you're gonna keep
Oh,
crying, Wolf.
shit, moaning. I'm not crying.
When we all right, let me start with this one and we'll go the other way. When we beat them, what you're gonna say it's just a regular season. What have you won? It is what it is, Sills. You're right, Prince. That's Sills for you. Lattimore overrated, is always hurt and unavailable. I don't think he's overrated at all. I think he's a good player.
He's a great player.
Always Sunny says the Eagles could stop a meteor that saves the world, and Big Sills will still give him a B-.
That's funny, man. That is really funny right there.
That is 100% true.
Hey,
We can officially say Jordan Davis is a bust with the snap count.
how about this, Polsky? How about we wait to the end of the year to call him that? He's had a bust first half.
Bust first half. Agreed.
Okay, I want to give it to him. All right.
Is Mailata a factor in the tush push? Big guy. I mean,
Wait,
I would think
on the edge. I don't think so.
They don't really run it on the edge at all.
No.
Unstoppable force versus immovable object. Sileo versus John.
John who?
Don't disrespect McMullen like that. Come on.
Oh yeah, him. Okay.
We already read that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. We might have gone through them all.
Good.
Let's see.
Jesus criminy, man. This is
Xander, you forgot me. I got that one. I got Philly 500.
Yep.
4 weeks of quarter or season and trending.
That's right. Pick those last 4 games out with a combined record of 10-26. And look at you guys crowing around, walking around like you're a peacock. Give me a break here, man. Look at Xander rolling around the last 4 games like a peacock.
Brian checks in. All my homies hate Joel Embiid. This clown is so selfish. He moved up to number 1 on my shit list, right in front of J-Max Hero Sirianni and Banana Pudding. Wow.
Embiid.
Yo, Brian,
Embiid.
we need to start up a JAKIB comedy channel and feature Brian.
God.
This dude is hilarious.
Embiid.
Stampy checks in. Cards are greater than the Sheagles. Sheagles Kyler greater than Butt Hurts.
I like
Stampy,
Butt Hurts.
That's the super chat you wanted me to get to, dude. That's a shitty super chat.
That's a great super chat. Way to go, Champy.
Jarrell says Jalen currently at a B for grade purposes, but the disrespect with Kyler Murray is despicable. No worries, birds will show all you nerds what we stand on.
Yeah, you're right.
I think he's higher than a B, Jarrell.
Who?
Jalen, I gave him a B+.
Yeah, of course you do.
Devontae.
Those first 4 games were wonderful.
What did Playmaker say again?
Who?
Yeah, right. Michael Irvin. Sileo sounds like Mark Holmes with all these excuses.
Mark Holmes is now, he's like that one dude that used to show up on this channel. I forgot his name. Go ahead.
Hell, say it.
No, I don't go down that route no more.
Was he a host or was he a guest?
He was a guest. He used to come on. We used to kind of like him. He was boys with Philly 500, and I don't remember his name any longer.
Oh, I don't even remember his name.
Yeah, well, he has a channel that he takes shots at me and calls me a racist and all this and that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, welcome to the world of people disagreeing with you and then crying wolf. I already read this one, but it is hilarious. I cannot wait to go and watch Mark Holmes' video ripping JAKIB. Mark, we love you, Mark. Jarrell Ray says,
"Hey, Mark, kiss my ass."
Sills and Dan Orlovsky must have an agenda to try and turn folks against the birds. Funny thing is, they both continue to be wrong. Shit is hysterical.
I was never wrong last year, Jarrell. I was right in the end where you had your Chernobyl meltdown. You kept telling me a 10-1. Even Seth called me names. And I said, that team is not who it was. And then one day there was an epiphany on the old, which is now the much improved post-game show. And now I told you last year that team's not who you think it is. And sure enough, you guys took a gigantic shayuster all over yourselves, and you ended up being who you were. And we were right. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, okay. You keep telling yourself that. I
was
already
wrong.
read that.
Wrong.
I appreciate it.
Wait, I was wrong? That team had turned out to be who I thought it was?
Yo, Sills, Mark called you out in his last video, LOL.
Watch this. Box of rocks.
I commented that to somebody today. I think his name is Man in Black. Remember when I chirped him on the show?
Yeah.
So he was commenting on your show. I don't know if he's in here. Man in Black, if you're in here, show yourself.
I know.
He commented on your show yesterday, and he said, Sileo's show will be gone by the end of the year. I'm like, you must be new here. 4.5 years going strong and getting bigger and better than ever.
Hey, how about this one? Hey, Sileo, I've been watching you, man, for the last 34 years, and you blow. Yeah, I know. Hey, I know. Hey, I have sucked for 30+ years in broadcasting.
Sills is going nowhere. YB says, Kamala about to be a DEI hire for the Dallas cheerleaders.
Oh, no politics, please. I got enough to deal with later. I can't.
Oh
my God.
All right, everybody. That was hilarious, man.
Holy
JAKIB Nation, are they, dude? You know what I'm learning about JAKIB Nation? Not only are they tremendous supporters of the channel and tremendous, I think they're actually very smart football fans, most of them.
They are.
They're also hilarious.
Oh, absolutely. Can I tell you this, though, guys? Why it's great? Unlike what the Inquirer's doing right now to Marcus Hayes, you guys get to chirp back at us. We chirp back at you. There's no hard feelings. It's sports. We keep it cool, and nobody censors you. This is the last place where you don't get censored, really.
I like that people disagree, and they cannot, like, it's not just because somebody disagrees with you doesn't mean you got to hate them or
no.
You know,
I don't hate anybody.
I like being disagreed with. Challenge me, make me think better about something. I love that.
Well, it's easy when you put that Hurts kid at 6 and your Eagles at 5 over 4 weeks with a winning record of 10-26 with those shitty teams you play. Not that much of a reach, kid. Holy cow.
They can't stop JAKIB. Let's go, flex.
Let me go, man. I'm going to throw up, really.
Now I'm going to be working all night because Sileo kept me on for 2 hours and 12 minutes.
I did. Well, actually, what's happened with Xander here, I didn't really think he was going to be good when we first put him on. Now
our segment's been good, man. People love our segment, I will say.
Actually, it's been an upgrade from Tone. And by the way, I like the Tone segment. It's not a rip on him at all. As a matter of fact, Xander and I both love Tone. It's what it is. It's the industry.
I got a lot of love for Tone, man. Tone did a lot for JAKIB. I'll never forget that.
No way, man. Hey, we have great respect for him. But Xander's segment has turned into be one of my favorite segments of the day.
Yeah, people like it, man. We get a lot of people that comment after.
A lot of views.
Not all Eagle fans either. Like, people are like, there's a lot of people, Ravens fans. We got a lot of Cowboy fans. We got a lot of other fans who check in and listen to the segment. So it's great, man.
Yeah, sometimes I have to un-McMullinize you because you talk to that dude in the morning and I don't know, man. I mean, that guy will still try to tell you they're not running the ball more. Okay.
You're not wrong.
Hey, you're not. It's a mirage I'm seeing. Anyway, this what makes this great. By the way, I can't wait for this weekend because it's Cowboys week. John and I in the post-game show. That should be quite the thing. And it's Cowboy week here, so we'll do more on that.
Is it in Dallas?
Yes, it's in Arlington.
John's going to be on for the full thing. So, boy.
Oh, God, that's good. He'll probably get up. I'm not going to say what I'm going to do, but let's go here. Hey, Xander, great stuff, dude. Cowboys should sign Harris's running back. She's crazy. Stop doing the politics.
Nothing like JAKIB in the chat is 100% true. We got the best chat on YouTube. Believe me, I watch every channel. There's no chat like ours. Look at this douchebag. Xander had to actually work for a couple hours. Poor titty baby. Philly, you don't know me from a can.
Philly,
I work all damn day.
I agree with you, Philly. I mean, just a couple minutes extra this guy had. Really? You sound like someone I know.
No, Philly 4 for 4. I've never seen somebody change their takes with every. It's like 8 minutes go by and the guy's got a completely different take than he had the day before.
Who?
Philly 4 for 4. One day he's like, I love Sileo. He's the greatest show ever. The next day he's like, Silio's the biggest asshole in the world. He might be C24. He might be
Hey,
enough. Wait,
Philly 4 for 4. You sound like my old lady.
did you know that C24 joined the JAKIB postgame show?
No.
Yes.
Wow.
And I gained respect for C24 because he came. Now, he wouldn't show his face, which was a little annoying. But he came into the Thunderdome and he spoke. I think C24 is a fine guy. He just got a little, he's got a little maturity to do. You can tell he's a young guy. You've had enough Diddy moments today, Sills. Agreed, Flax. Seriously, bro.
Get me out of here. I want to go home. Hey.
All right, goodbye.
All right. Hey,
goodbye,
Sam,
everybody. JAKIB Nation, I love you all. You guys are the absolute best,
thank you for
man.
all the super chats and all the likes, man. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Xander, a lot of fun, dude. I mean,
See you, dude.
I love
great,
that.
man.
Thank you, brother. I'll see you tomorrow, dude.
All right. See you, bro.
That's a lot of fun. I enjoyed that segment. I do. I absolutely enjoyed that segment. Please hit the like button. Keep it here, National Football Show.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Score and save at Southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, Birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer three major services, the first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Heading down the shore, have a ball once more.
Here, imaginations run wild and time stands still. Because here, you can find the best of the Jersey Shore, all on one 5-mile island. So leave the old you behind and get lost in the woods.
Wild, wild, wildwood day.
Plan your stay in the Wildwoods today.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Big Sales National Football Show. Please hit the like button. Here is my NFL honors. First half MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year. This is how I see the first half here. Let me get to the votes here. I told you earlier, here's my NFL Coach of the Year favorites and winner of the midterm Coach of the Year award. My top 10 were Sean McDermott, Buffalo, 10. Number 9, Jonathan Gannon, Arizona. Number 8, Raheem Morris, Atlanta. Number 7, Matt LaFleur, Green Bay Packers. Number 6, Mike Tomlin, Pittsburgh. 5, Kevin O'Connell, Minnesota. 4, Jim Harbaugh, LA Chargers. 3, Andy Reid, Kansas City. 2, Dan Campbell, Detroit Lions. And number 1, Dan Quinn, Washington Commanders, is your midterm NFL Coach of the Year. Now, here is your midterm NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Slam dunk. Jaden Daniels, Washington Commanders. Here is your NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. The Los Angeles Rams, Jared Verse, edge rusher. Rams. How you doing? So Daniels is the Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Jared Verse, Rams, is your Defensive Rookie of the Year. Now, your NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Dexter Lawrence, New York Football Giants. You guys are nuts. Jared Verse is on pace for 10 sacks this season. He's had a hell of a first half. I don't know what you're talking about. Quinn, absolutely not. Verse is better, and everyone says it. Dexter Lawrence is your offensive or your defensive player of the year. Your offensive player of the year for the midterms, Derrick Henry, Baltimore Ravens. And the most valuable player in the first 8 games of the season, Lamar Jackson. That's who gets my votes. My NFL honors vote. Yes, sir. Let's see here. Let's see if I could bring that up. NFL alumni vote. I sent that in. Let's see my vote. That's the CBA vote. Hang on here. What did I send in? I want to double check on what I sent in on my vote. Yeah, I got Jared Verse as the halftime, as the mid-season most valuable player defensively. Yeah. Alumni vote. NFL alumni vote. Yeah. Q still got a shot at it. Q still got a here it is. By the way, what I usually do too is here, see, look here, let me take a picture of this for you guys. I also, this goes into the amount of votes that will be added for like here. So I vote every month on the NFL Player of the Month. You know that thing that you guys get? I vote on the NFL Player of the Month every month. That you guys see who ends up getting Players of the Month. I voted for Barkley a couple times. So Big Sills has an MVP, a Rookie of the Year. All of that. And it all shows up at the NFL Honors. How you doing? Yeah, Verse was the FSU kid. Yeah. Sills, just go to the game with Mark. Fuck Mark. Was he moaning about? Hey, Mark Holmes is crying about me because his team sucks. Sileo, he didn't want. You know what he's doing? He's bailing Mark because he doesn't want to get murdered. That's what he's doing. Sills, too early to tell who will make the All-Pro this year. Yeah, way too early. Way too early. Oh, Xander said it perfectly. You think Big Sills is going to leave? The Kingdom? The domicile? By the way, I got to move this week. So the background may look different this week. I got to get out of here. And we're working at it, me and my wife this week. So we're going to have a whole new background. We'll see how that thing looks. Yeah, it's too early for that. Yeah, he's in a drunken stupor. By the way, Xander, I owe a timeout, and I also owe this. We had such a good time here. I owe this. So we got to take a quick timeout here. Bet US. Because I owe another one on the flip side of this on the way out the door. Don't forget our great friends at Bet US here, guys. We appreciate us teaming up and partnering up with our friends at Bet US. JAKIB has done a great job with these guys. We so love them. And here is your YouTube 150. It's a sign-up bonus of all the way up to 2K. Absolutely spectacular. 200% sign-up bonus up to 2K as well is there for you. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. Fastest payouts in the business, 24/7 personalized service, 365 days of the year, live wagering on all major games. Make sure you go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. And do me a favor, tell them Big Sills sent you.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Score and save in Southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in,
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid
as long as you face the fear.
and keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer three major services. The first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Heading down the shore. Have a ball once more.
Here, imaginations run wild and time stands still. Because here, you can find the best of the Jersey Shore, all on one 5-mile island. So leave the old you behind and get lost in the woods.
Wild, wild, wild Virginia.
Plan your stay in the Wildwoods today.
EAGLES. Eagles.
And Stills National Football Show. Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome on a very important night tonight. It is election night. Got to say something, man. I made a comment about DeAndre Hopkins. Holy shit, is that guy still good? I'll tell you what, he's not the same DeAndre Hopkins of a couple of years ago, but was that his first game with the Chiefs? 8 catches, 86 yards, and 2 TDs? Hey, he is – I can't – name me a quarterback that he's played with that was great. Watson when he was good, right, in Houston? Right? Hopkins looked great last night. And help me out on this. How many weeks – that was his second thing, Flexen. How many weeks? This guy wants to keep making excuses up for Hurts. I thought elite quarterbacks don't need receivers. He's not elite anymore. Wait a second. According to Senor, he would take Devontae Smith or AJ over Hopkins. What a jerk. DeAndre Hopkins is a good player. He's not anything what that guy has. Nothing. Your guy needs everything. So what? He can't have a decent receiver? And by the way, Senor, he beat you with Juju Smith-Schuster in the Super Bowl. You had AJ and Devontae and lost. How you doing? Juju Smith-Schuster has a Super Bowl ring. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, help me out on this. How many weeks has Kareem Hunt been a Kansas City Chief? How many weeks? How many weeks has he been a Kansas City Chief? Maybe Samuel. Hopkins looked great last night. He sure did. How many weeks has Hunt been in Kansas City? 3? 2. Bruce, it's 2? Bruce, he was out of football a year ago, right? And these have been his last 2 games, right? Is that right? He had 106 yards rushing on 27 carries last night, 1 TD. How come all that shit works in Kansas City? Oh, wait, let me guess. It's the quarterback. Don't lose any pieces in that Eagle offense, or that quarterback looks like Tyrod Taylor. Elite my ass. Dude, you're right. Patrick Mahomes revitalized Hopkins' career and Hunt's career. Hurts loses someone, he plays like shit. How you doing? Hey, I do think DeAndre Hopkins still has it, though. He was, dude, he has. and is one of the best third down wide receivers I've ever seen. I mean it. He is without a doubt. So he's played 5 games in 2 years, and he had 106. Okay? Yeah, I know. Against the 2-7 Jags. Way to hang in there, senor. Way to hang in there. 10-26, elite. Hey. All right. Hey, try not to kill yourselves tonight. Whoever wins or loses, by the way, we'll not find out who the president of the United States is tonight. Don't kid yourself. This thing's about a month out, finding out who the president of the United States is. But try not to kill yourselves. And one of the coolest things tomorrow is you get to come here and we get to talk sports, take our mind off it for 4 hours and get away from this thing. I can't wait for this thing to get over. I can't wait. I mean it. I want it to go away. I just want it to go away. Vote your conscience. I hope you voted your conscience. What's best for the country, and what do you think the next 4 years are going to look like? Mark's calling you Mozzie Smith. 500. Mark who? Hey, watch. Hey, Philly, watch this. Mark who? Ask your boy Lloyd Brenson, or hey, ask your boy Lloyd Brunson burner how that worked out. All good. See you later. Hey, have a good one. As of today, I'll do this to you. May the name Mark Holmes be stricken from the tablets of Big Sills. May you never mention his name on the Big Sills show. Have a good one, man. Appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow. Big Z, Xander, thank you so much. 2 to 6 tomorrow Eastern time, and we'll see you on the flip side.